I don't know where it is. I was wearing it before. Yeah, I have it somewhere. I just don't know where it is now. I'm a sad boy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. What are you talking about? What message you sent? The bear? No, I can't. You have to send it to me on like Instagram or something. I have to. Okay, just give me a minute. Oh my god, I'm so frustrated right now. I love you so much. Go look at the messages that people sent. Let me set up our stream first, okay? Yeah, yeah. Hey, what's up, guys?
Why you always say it? Really do say it
like what?
Hey,
hey guy. You don't like that?
Uh-oh.
What? What does that mean? You know what? You're not even. I don't have your mic on. Go ahead. Talk again. Say what you just said.
Oh, I didn't have my mic on.
Yeah, it wasn't
either.
on. You just woman. You say what you just said.
I said Shane Dawson is live too. I don't know which one I should watch.
You're rude.
I want to know what he's live about.
You're mean.
Oh, it's a joke.
Stop talking. All right, I sent it out to the Discord. Now we gotta go and look at some stuff. You know what though? How am I gonna get the window mode?
What time is it? Oh, it's late.
Shut up. You talk so much. We can do that. What do you guys think of that? You're not feeling it. How do you spell April Margera? What's going on, guys? Oh, it's this one, huh?
Yeah.
How sad. We'll talk about it more in a bit.
More importantly.
What's more important, baby?
How do I get my pictures to you?
I don't know. Well. Talking about Trisha? Oh my goodness. Ooh, baby, I love the way. I want to be with you night and day. What do you think about
that? Ooh.
Sing it for me, baby.
Baby, I love the way.
All right, it's okay. It's a little mid, but I'm digging it.
I wanna be with you night and day.
Ooh. Oh.
I don't know any other.
How's that? This stream is brought to you by Spicy Sweet Chili Doritos. Not officially sponsored yet. This stream is brought to you by me eating the rest of my Doritos. What do you think about that, baby?
Pretty good.
I can't believe she stole our name. These are the best Doritos, though. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. I call these my wife Doritos. Because my wife's a little spicy, and she's also sweet.
The best Doritos they ever had
What are these?
Was Midnight Cheeseburger.
No.
Yep. And I desire, like, they've come out with, like, pickle chips and even cheeseburger flavored potato chips. But, like, it doesn't hit, like, the flavor doesn't hit on a potato chip the way it does, like, on a corn tortilla chip. Is this corn or flour? Look at the ingredients. I think they're corn, because I think someone with, I know it's celiac, eats them. Do you remember the guacamole Doritos? They were disgusting, but I, like, went through a phase of eating them. And then also when I was little, there was pepper jack Doritos. And I remember it being, like, spicy as hell, but I think I would like it now. I'm gonna be so tired tomorrow.
Wow.
How much am I talking today?
I love you. I was literally thinking, like, you're going a mile a minute. Or like a fucking... It's okay. I love you. It's fine. You can do whatever you want.
Hey, everyone.
That's all right. That's why I love you. You talk all the time. Oh, I wanted to do this too. This is interesting to me. It's a little short one.
Hey everybody.
Oh, we got so much good. We got so much good stuff.
Someone said this reminds me of the basement guys arguing about the best Pop-Tart.
You want to argue about Pop-Tarts?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna say strawberries.
I don't have like a strong.
You like Pop-Tarts though.
They're okay.
I feel old because like I remember when the
You are
hot
old.
fudge sundae
Yeah.
and strawberry milkshake Pop-Tarts came out.
Strawberry yummy shake.
Like it was a thing that you put the strawberry milkshake ones in the freezer and then you put the hot fudge ones like in the toaster.
Put it in my butt.
Do you remember when toaster strudel came out?
No. I mean,
really
I remember
not?
toaster strudel. I just don't remember like when it came out. You know.
Oh,
But you sent me so many pictures.
my grandma. Well, yeah, because I wanted to share it with
Yeah.
everybody.
I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I think you need to send them one by one, my love.
I'm still waiting to find the Apple Jacks ones because the Fruit Loop, Pop-Tarts were actually fucking bomb.
Yeah.
.com. You know.
Oh yeah, no. That was good though. I like that bomb.com. Stinkabungus.com. You guys like that? Stinkabungus.com. What do you think about that? All right, she doesn't care about that.
I'm focusing on sending my pictures.
She's sending big pictures of her vacation that she went on without me, where she'd abandoned me. I've abandoned my boy.
My boy.
You've never seen Old Country, No Country. That's not Old No Country. What is that? What is that? I forgot the movie. It's with Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to burp.
You're trying not to burp anymore?
I'm trying not to burp without muting myself. Hurry up, I want to get this podcast started. Would I go on Joe Rogan? Well, yeah, of course I would. I'd ride him all day.
I have to do everything one by one, so it's taking a long time.
I don't think I'll ever go on Joe Rogan, though. I mean, I don't think I'll ever hit that level of stardom to matter. I don't think I'm a particularly interesting person, you know? Ooh, you look cute, baby. You look like a sneaky snake. Sneaky snake, you know?
I'm almost done. I have like 3 more I want to send.
Shh. You like that when I say that to you? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Hear me?
Shut up.
Dumb bitch.
Stop. That's real rude. I don't know. Incredible video that you sent me.
What is it?
You said a video.
I did. I look cute. I'm
You
serving
do.
looks.
You serving looks. Incredible stuff. I'm serving poop. Rolling up to the club on a 2-a-day. Ba 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 beep boop bay.
Someone said hot take: the normal Doritos flavor is the best flavor.
You're ugly. You're an ugly person. I'm just kidding.
What is a normal Dorito? Like a plain
Rolling
chip?
up to the
I don't
club
think we have them here.
on a Tuesday. What do you think about that? Incredible stuff, huh? If I do that instead. I'm having trouble here. Like, people might just see my DMs. I don't care. All right. You want to get this party started? Do you want to get this party started? I say to my wife as she ignores me. Would you like to? Okay. Okay, guys. So listen here. I was on my stream today. I don't know if you guys know, I stream. And somebody told me that Trisha Padabler made a new podcast with Colleen. Colin? I don't. What are you saying? You see? What? All right. You love doing that all the time. Do it again. My wife loves doing that. Do it again. Wait, do you have the mic muted? Hello? Talk. Oh my god.
Now it's turning green. You guys, you missed that.
Fucking idiot. My wife's a fucking idiot. We got to start the
You
segment
gotta
over.
give me a new mic.
I'm just kidding. What? You have to make sure you don't mess with the mic.
I didn't mess with it. You handed it to me this way. Did anyone hear
You were
anything
talking
I
the
was
entire
saying?
time except for just now.
Oh my god.
Okay. Listen, we're starting the podcast now. We're starting. This is our first segment. Is your mic working?
Let's rewind. Whoop whoop.
Anyway, Trisha made a new podcast, people told me, on my stream. They said, Papa Gut, Trisha made a new podcast. And I said, okay, well, my name is Dan here. And we fought. Anyway, they told me this for a specific reason. Not because it's Trisha necessarily, but because of the name of the podcast, as you can see, is called Oversharing. Now, I showed this to my wife when we went out to dinner today. This podcast started 5 days ago. Now, as you guys know, my wife and I, we did a podcast a little bit. We're kind of transitioning into a live stream, unnamed. But of course, what is the name of it? Oversharing with Rob and Dan. And I was from a month ago. Now, you might say, Papa Gut, that's merely a coincidence. What a normal title for a podcast. I disagree. Trisha Paytas knows who I am, and I think that she is a fan of mine. Now, you might be a little confused, so let me explain, okay? I was part of the frenemy, well, not part of, but I was very active in the frenemies line or whatever. Like, I was criticizing Trisha Paytas. I criticized Trisha. I know she knows who I am. That's what it boils down to. I know Ethan knows who I am. I know, like, iDubbbz knows who I am because he started streaming, and then I popped into his stream yesterday, and he knew who I was. So, you know, I'm basically famous, but without the fame or the success. The point is, Trisha knows who I am. I made some pretty big videos on her. And I know that she's a fan because I think that she's attracted to me. Because let's be real here. I am the male version of Ethan Klein. Think about it. We have a similar sense of humor, similar stuff like that, but I'm a real man. I'm 6'4". I'm a big, chunky, attractive Jewish guy. Partially Jewish. The part that's Jewish ran away from my mother when she was pregnant. And I honestly, all jokes aside, I think that Trisha watches some of my stuff. I really do. She's definitely seen some of my videos. I wouldn't doubt that she was like, oh, she watched. Yeah.
I think that she stole the name of our podcast. I think she did.
You think she stole it?
I think she did.
They were probably thinking of doing a podcast, but didn't know what to call it. And then they stole it. They stole the name. It's really unfortunate.
One day there's going to be a video where she's going to be like, oh, like, I just thought of it. And then, like, any other video.
Thought of it. You know, like her laugh.
Like, oh my God, like, I totally always overshare. Like,
that's like her. That's definitely her. You know what, though? Because I think that she's a fan a little bit. Maybe she's a hate watcher. But I will say, because I was very active in that Trisha Paytas thing and all that on my old main account, I will say I regret some of the way that I handled that. I think that there was definitely a lot of stuff to criticize Trisha on, for sure. But, and I didn't realize this until we disagreed with some people, some anti-Trisha people and Uncle Trisha people, that those people are so fucking toxic that, like, it warps your brain into, like, matching their level of toxicity. Like, how rude I was, I felt like, in some of those videos, looking back or thinking back now. I'm sure it was cathartic for some people, not happy with it. And I remember, like, we did like little disagreements with some things on there. Like, I think once we dared say that she's not that fat, and all of a sudden, oh my God, she's like, oh, she's really not that big, because she's not. She's okay looking, you know. I've seen her OS.
it's not even about her being okay looking or not. I hate when you make that face. It's
Probably
not
because
about
I
her
like big girls
being
too, so they're
okay
looking.
looking or not. It's just about her, like, not being, like, very large. People talk about her, honestly, people, like, talk about her like she's my size.
Yeah.
And
I
she's
like your
not.
size. Got a nice.
But anywho.
It's like the opposite of fast food, because I'm not trying to finish it fast. You know what I mean?
Baby.
Anyway. Put some extra sauce on that one. Anyway. Yeah. And I agree with my general criticism, but I feel like some of it got so mean. And if God forbid you ever say something that's, like, slightly in defense of Trisha, you are bombarded to death. And I think that has a profoundly negative impact on the conversation about Trisha. Because, like, if you don't if you don't literally shit and fart all over your pants against Trisha, you're labeled a horrible person.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So I feel a little bad. Frankly, I'm thumbs up to the return of Trisha Paytas. Frankly, okay. I'm not saying that there's nothing to criticize, but we've all done bad things. We've all been there. And she's coming back. She's coming back in her trolling light. I watched the Terry Joe and Trisha Paytas interaction was very funny. I liked it. So yeah, it's we'll consider forgiving you for the theft of our podcast name, Trisha. But yeah, maybe one day we'll all be friends. What would you think about that, babe?
Maybe one day.
We're gonna align ourselves.
I don't like Moses though.
Well, now she's not gonna want to be our friend.
Does she like Moses either?
You don't think she likes Moses?
Let me not be me. That's the father of her child.
That is true. That is true. You know what? Because I don't like him either. But maybe he's not a bad guy in person. He reminds me a little bit of your mom's husband.
Why?
I don't know. Just does.
Are him and what is her name? Ela or Hila?
Ela? I don't know.
Are they like American or are they immigrants?
I think they're from Israel. No, I think they're from Israel. I think Ethan met her in Israel. I think. I could be wrong.
Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe we're just racist. We don't like foreigners. I'm just kidding. That's silly. But you know what? Maybe Moses is right about all of us being water. Because remember the other day, I was like, what if? And like, I just said, like, what if we are all the same person experiencing life through like a different, like we are just one entity experiencing life through a different body. And like this, I am you and you are me and we're all like the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why murder's okay.
I think we're kind of in a Horton Hears a Who situation.
Oh, that's very different from what we're talking about.
I don't know. It's kind of the same-ish.
Okay.
In the same realm of having like a thought on how the world works.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was just meant I think maybe we all share like the same soul or something. But I get what you're saying. But why Horton Hears a Who? Isn't Horton Hears a Who? There's like a little flower and there's people who are like, I'm here.
Yeah.
You think that there's
listen, everybody in every single religion all like call their person God, right?
Yeah.
Like their God.
Sure. God, Allah.
It's like the one guy.
Odin.
So like obviously either we're not very creative or there's like a God. There's a person that everybody looks up to.
Or maybe we are. Maybe God's bored and he's just inhabiting our bodies and existing through life with consequences because
that sounds so disgusting to think of.
What? Anyway,
that the fucking puppeteer of the world is
he's in our bodies.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it sounded like you said, that the puppeteer of the world is like inserting himself into the situations he makes to kind of like play along.
I guess so. I wonder. But it makes sense.
Maybe he's Trisha right now.
What?
Maybe he's Trisha right now.
Who's Trisha? Oh, maybe but I think he's inside of all of us, but at like a different time. I don't know. I don't know. Everything's predicted. I don't know. Everything's getting too much for me. Anyway. Yeah, so I think Trish is our podcast name. And when I showed you at dinner tonight, you were fucking face dropped. I should have saved it for the podcast, but you were like, what?
You should have. That actually would have been better.
You were just like, what the fuck? You were mind boggled by that. And then also you made the same face when we saw the bill. Bro, we went out to all you can eat sushi. I got 4 rolls of sushi and like General's House chicken, and you got like some money bags and whatever the fuck you got. You like
yeah,
and it was $80. It's like holy shit. I mean, it's all you can eat, but we don't eat all we can eat. I like to eat and leave. I'm not trying to sit there for 2 hours. Eating to me, I like eating, but I also don't like eating till I'm full anymore because I'm getting older and it hurts your body. So.
Oh, that's something else we were also talking about.
What's
like
that?
you just said, like getting older, food Hurt Your Body.
Oh, it's so bad.
On our way home from dinner, we were looking through my old pictures of us.
Yeah.
And we haven't been together very long, to be
Like
honest.
4 years.
Yeah, that's not very long.
Well, we've been together through multiple lifetimes. We were dinosaurs in love.
Yeah.
Bird dinosaurs.
And we were looking at the pictures, and we've only been together for 4 years, but damn. And these 4 years,
old.
we fucking aged, bro.
I was telling her that, like, as I get older, I'm gonna look back at her old pictures and jerk off to them. Is that oversharing? Welcome to the Oversharing Podcast. What you want to know? What we have to do that much oversharing. We have to overshare Trisha Paytas.
I like the last thing I would ever want is for you to actually put effort into oversharing, because I can't imagine.
I don't put any effort into it.
Anything you would say.
I don't put any effort into it. It's just natural. I'm an open book. I'm an open guy.
But anyways, yeah, we were just looking on pictures, and I was younger, and so was he. So
that would be imagine I actually actively overshared. That's like a next level of my power. It's like the villain. It's like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z, who's never trained before, and then once hold on, I'm finishing my thought. Stop. And then, sorry. once he starts training, he becomes like incredibly powerful very quickly. That's me with oversharing. Go ahead, my love. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, it's something that has been angering me.
What?
So fucking much I can't describe it.
What did I do?
What movie did we see a few weeks ago?
Mario Brothers movie.
We saw the Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And then I went to the movies the other day with my grandmother.
Somebody said that she has an OnlyFans, so good luck with out oversharing her. I will spread my ass
Oh,
off.
do you remember the toilet paper?
I did. It made me subscribe to it.
You fucking dirty bastard.
It was like $5. It's
Anyways, this is what's making me angry.
Whatever.
It's so off topic, but there's a new...
That might be why, though, because I was under my name Papa Gut, and I subscribed to her OnlyFans. You think she saw that?
Maybe.
Oh.
I think it's a new Spider-Man comic coming out. There's a new... Not a comic. There's a new cartoon superhero movie. I feel like it's Spider-Man.
Okay.
But it's not the one where all the Spider-Mans are together. I don't know. Anyways, there's some preview that I saw when we saw the Super Mario Brothers, and then when I saw the movie this weekend. And it's legitimately Frozone is in it.
Nice. Actual Frozone?
Wait, is it Frozone? No. It's either...
What are you saying?
No, the cop from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Okay. I don't
It is
know who
quite
that is.
literally, in this cartoon movie, there's an African-American cop, and it's literally the
Why
dad...
African-American?
Because I'm, like,
The
being
black cop.
respectful.
It's not disrespectful to say a black guy.
It's the guy from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs in a different movie.
Cool.
They stole him.
I imagine they might
Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
reuse the assets.
It's not Blue Beetle because it's a cartoon. But it's the same thing. Every single time I see that preview, I'm like, that's the guy.
That this. I'm The Rock. Okay.
All right.
That's more Miles Morales' dad. Let me look that up. I'll see if I can. His name is Jefferson.
I want to see a picture. Tell me that's not the fucking guy from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
This?
Yes.
This is the guy from Fortnite.
No, it's not.
Black Fortnite guy.
No. Look up.
It's the guy from Fortnite.
Babe, look up the cop from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
What's happening here? It's the okay. We have to give me a second. I have to. This is insane that you're doing this to me. This
That's the guy from
it's
Spider-Man.
the Fortnite guy.
It's literally not.
Oh my god! Look at this. What is this? That's not him. Sorry. Okay. It's okay. It's the fucking. It's the dude. It looks just like.
Look
him.
up what I'm asking for.
What are you? Okay.
Cloudy with the Chance of
Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs.
Tell me it's not fucking him, bro.
Bro, I'm closer than you.
No.
This is the cop.
The one that you looked at is a bad picture.
It's the guy. This one?
Yes.
It's
No.
It's the guy from Fortnite.
The Fortnite one doesn't look like him. Daniel.
What? This doesn't look like him. What are you saying? This doesn't look anything like him.
Yes, it does. That's a bad picture. Get a different picture.
Oh my god, you keep telling me it's a bad picture. Is this better?
That's a different character. See, you don't even know what you're talking about because they look the same.
What are you talking? I looked up Miles Morales' dad. You said this was the dad.
Bitch. Yes, that is the dad. I'm talking about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yeah, that's him right here.
And I should pick out a different
Oh, is that a better picture?
Yeah.
Is this it?
Yes, that.
I feel like
Listen, all I'm saying is that it looks like the same character, different artistic design. You know what I'm saying?
That's better. I don't understand what's happening. Anyway, the point here is that my wife is racist and thinks all black people look the same. Based. What do you think about that?
No.
Okay.
I think.
Should we make a segment about that?
Absolutely not now. They do look the same though.
The
characters.
Oh my god!
I had to
baby,
clarify.
Stop.
I had to. You're the one that said something bad.
Yeah, true. I said something funny. I'm a jokester. I'm a prankster.
I don't know.
Baby love.
I'm looking at this chat, and if you're trying to tell me that cop from Spider-Man and the cop from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs they don't look like the same character and like different things, I don't know what you are on.
Yeah. What do you think about that? What do you think about me singing? Okay, stinky heads. You want to do this April bit? Or you know what? Let's look at your pictures.
Do you want to?
So my wife, yeah. What do I want to? You told me that we have to, and plus I like you. Look cute. You have nice boobs here. My wife went on vacation to Florida to see her grandmother, who also lives here with us, not within our house, but decided that it has like a summer home out there. And when I say a summer home, I mean a small garage that has been turned into a summer home.
Yeah.
So there's that, and she took pictures. You want me to show you guys? So here's one picture of my wife.
That's me on the beach.
You look very nice.
Thanks.
And then you have this video.
That's me waving on the beach. I look good.
Yeah, you look cute. I like that. And here's a picture of my cute wife again. Where are you here?
That's actually a restaurant that I've been looking at since I was little, and I was never allowed in because you have to be 21 to get in. So now I'm way above 21, and so is my brother. Yeah. So we got dinner and drinks.
That's true.
And it's like waterfront.
I like you a lot.
Thanks.
Here's a picture of my wife at the Salty Spittoon.
Yeah.
What is it called?
A restaurant.
You don't want to say which one it is called?
No.
It's called Salamander Sundays.
Yep.
Anyway, the drink she got was a swamp thing, right?
Yeah.
And I love that drink.
That's his favorite.
Oh, but she got it and she didn't even like it. But she's a little faded here, you could tell. I like it when my wife's a little drunk. Cause
no, I'm not a little faded.
Yes, you are.
How am I faded?
I can see it in your fucking
I got
eyes.
one drink, and that is the only drink I got. How much is missing?
Baby, you're a little faded here. Let's just do a comparison. Jarvis, bring up the video. This is my wife's regular smile. This is my wife's slightly faded smile. The way I know that you're faded is because I could tell that you want to fuck me. I
literally didn't drink before this picture,
yeah, okay.
So.
Yeah. Here's some more pictures of the beach.
So this is the inlet, and I wanted to show you. This is what it looked like at 4 o'clock. Okay.
Okay, and then the
4
next
o'clock
one
in the evening.
Okay, and then the next one is something different.
So that was where we had our towel set up, but that's what it looked like at like 10 in the morning.
Oh. I would say it does all look like water and sand to me.
Yeah, but you couldn't tell the last one
was
less different.
People?
Less water.
Oh, I guess so.
Did you see the sandbars and everybody walking?
I guess so. Yeah, sure. And
that's me swimming in it.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's me sitting in a tree in it.
Oh, KISSING, huh? All right.
And then the final picture
of the airplane.
of the airplane. And that's when I texted you and I said, there's no way that flying is real.
Yeah, it's a weird concept, right?
It's so weird. I have so many pictures. I think I have literally like 20 minutes worth of videos on my phone that I took of us flying because I was just looking out the window. I never get to sit by the window.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at it and I was like, there's no way. We were literally, I was taking one video and we flew through a fucking cloud.
That's wild.
There's no way.
You think that there's any chance of meatballs?
Maybe.
I don't even know what I'm doing. So yeah, we got home and we made sweet love last night. Yeah, that's probably an example of oversharing, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, my love. I'm proud of it. You know, I'm proud of it. What do you think?
Nothing.
What do you think? Overshare.
No.
Was it good?
What?
What do you mean what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, fine. If you want to be that way, bitch. Stupid ass. I'm just. Oh, my belly's a little full of sushi and Doritos. Oh yeah. I think I got a fucking doo-doo baby in here.
That's disgusting.
You gotta take a doo-doo. I took a big shit today. Okay, that's not appropriate or relevant to what we're talking about today. But here's the thing, guys. My wife, my wife showed me something. Actually, just before we got on stream, it was of April Margera, right? The mommy.
Yes.
That's Bam Margera's mommy. Now, just so you guys know a little history, as if you wouldn't know, Bam Margera is an individual who struggles deeply with like substances, right? Alcohol, maybe other drugs. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
She thinks so. My wife is like is in love with Bam Margera. The only reason that she doesn't love him as much anymore is because she met me.
Because I love you.
Because I'm so sexy.
You can't see the thumbs up.
So anyway, because my wife does like Bam Margera, she like so much so that she loves like the music. He had albums, right?
Well, like, yeah, he put together like CDs, like
CDs
basically like a greatest hits CDs, but it was called Viva La Bands, and
Yeah.
it was all of his like favorite songs. So there's that. He has a Viva La Bands too. I never listened to that, but also I was just, he used like the music that he liked as like the background music on his shows and stuff. He had a serious radio show.
Did he really?
Or whatever. Yeah, I never like paid to. I was little, so like I didn't have like a serious thing. But I would always call the phone number and try to leave him messages.
Did you ever leave a message?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Just like, I love you and stuff.
Damn, I love you.
The phone number, because do you remember like people used to like spell things out for the phone number because of the letters on the numbers?
Oh yeah, I know.
And his phone number for his Radio 7 was 1877 porn bag.
Whoa! Do you think people understand what we're saying when we say numbers on like letters on the numbers?
I don't know. People our age, but if there's any children listening, they definitely don't.
Yeah, back in the, do you still have to maybe, I don't even know if you used to do that anymore. You could just like talk about everything. It's one of these. It's one of these things where like you go like, oh, you want to spell something out, so you have to press the button like 2, and then if you wait two more times, it's B. Right? Is that how it is? Or is it 2 is A, or you have to?
Well, no, like
so
like his phone number for his radio station would have been 1877.
Poopy pants.
767 blah blah blah.
Yeah. I don't even think those were.
But when you're texting is when you would hit it multiple times. Oh my god! I remember my first phone I ever got was in 8th grade, and it was an NV2 where like you could you could open it and it had the full keyboard, but then on the front it had like just the numbers and with like a very small screen. So that's what I would use to text in class.
My first phone was a flip phone I got when I was 16. I didn't even use it.
No?
Anyway. No, I barely. I just had it in for emergencies, so I was a Boy Scout. Sorry, I gotta do that. Anyway, back to the story. She posted something. We were doing a little recap of Bam. So yeah, Bam struggles a lot with like substances and whatnot, and you can kind of see his life in action. through the Jackass stuff, those really big pranks, like him and everybody on there, I think did a lot of, they did some crazy stuff. They would do like drink and other stuff. And I think all of them have kind of struggled with something. And Bam's the only one that seems to, or maybe, I don't know if the only one, but he's pretty well documented of like kind of spiraling out of control, having this really negative, relationship with this stuff, and especially with like his best friend passing, Ryan Dunn. You could, like you were telling me, like it really kind of took it out of him.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about this, and this is his mother, and I wanted to talk about this because of what she says. We'll play it because this is the only relevant part, really. The rest of it is an advertisement for cheese or something.
And you may know me as the poster girl for stress and all things bad right now.
And my wife played that, and she's like, "Isn't that so sad?"
I was like, "Damn."
Because there's conspiracy theories that Bam Margera is actually like the victim of his own family and friends, that they are trying to abuse him and manipulate him into whatever to take his money. And there's like a whole conversation about a conservatorship and about how like, oh, if you listen to what Bam says, he said it's all bad. And this, he's a drug addict. And genuinely speaking, I don't think I've ever seen a more, from what, at least the way I perceive it, a genuine friends and family that anybody ever had. And most supportive people I've ever seen than the people on Jackass and his mom and dad. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had a little burp. And people are pushing this conspiracy theory that they're trying to take advantage of him. And it's people on YouTube too. There's these big channels that are like, look at this conspiracy theory. Bam Margera is actually the victim. I think he does need a conservatorship. His brain has kind of gotten fucked. So I can see, and it was like a limited one in some capacity. And they're like, is this okay? You might think the conservatorships aren't okay. Nothing to do with this case. This guy has a kid that he is not mentally equipped to take care of because of the substance abuse. And I think that the conspiracy theory angle it's very self-serving because it makes these YouTubers money. It makes these people money who comment these ridiculous things like that. And it damages this guy because now he has people shouting like, no, what you're doing is okay and it's all good. And they're harassing his friends and family. And I feel bad for the stress of them trying to do the right thing while they get harassed by idiots who don't care. People who want to, and this is, it comes into another segment, basically are virtue bullying. Guys, oh my God, the friends and family are taking advantage of Bam Margera. Bye, I made a half-hour YouTube video. Goodbye. Let me leave you with the fallout and the damage. But you have these people that they're basically screaming into Bam's fucking brain over and over again that what he's doing is okay. But he's not. He's fucked,
I feel really bad because I think that everybody has not great moments, and obviously we don't know the Margeras intimately and what things were really like.
Yeah.
But, just from seeing everything and so much of Bam's life, a good chunk of things has been documented because even when he was younger, he became a professional skateboarder at I think 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, they were filming things the CKY crew were doing, just a whole bunch of stuff. And so there's lots of videos of him and a lot of his friends from when he was younger, and his parents were kind of always around, and it does seem like his family was the family in the group where everybody hung out around and
I know
stuff.
what you're saying. Yeah, kind of I guess you're a little bit like your mom. She's like everyone's mom.
Yeah, my house was where if someone was having a problem, they could come here. Everybody felt really comfortable talking to my mom, stuff like that. But that was his relationship with Ryan Dunn, is that Ryan came from a not so great family, and so I believe they basically took him in, and Ryan really was his brother.
Yeah, I can see that.
But even Brandon Novak, whatever, one of the bees.
This is your expertise.
What?
I said this is your expertise. Yeah. Do you notice? So this is very typical of women that are in social work and other mental health fields, is that they love really damaged guys. Because I feel like I'm probably one of them. It's so interesting. So guys, if you're fucked in the head, go find somebody who's a social worker. They will love you. It's like they get to take work home with them. It's incredible stuff. Sorry, I didn't derail you.
But anyways, what I'm getting at is that I feel really bad for April and Phil because who knows how much shit they've really put up with, because just based on the things that we
Especially the
saw,
pranks, the fucking alligators in the house and
the
shit.
fucking painting the house blue.
Oh my god, you would flip.
They made a
out.
moat in front of the house. They like fucking built like a whole thing. They filled the house with snow. They turned it into a skate rink.
Yeah.
And that's like their house.
Yeah.
But basically, it just made me feel really sad when I saw this, because like again, it's so dumb, but I do feel like such a connection to this family because it really was, it was what I was obsessed with growing up. Like they shaped my interest in the music I listened to, the things that I watched. Even like my whole family then listened to that music. In 2000, what year was it? Damn, I don't remember anymore. Maybe 2018. Him had their farewell tour, and CKY opened for them, and me and my mom went to go because, like, I of course love CKY and him, but my mom loves Villavallo and
Who's
him.
that?
Villavallo is the lead singer of him.
Oh, okay.
So, like, we went to go see them, and when we were walking back to the train, like, we ran into Jess Margera.
Who's that?
Bam's brother.
Oh.
And, like, I took a picture with him.
Did you
like,
say I'm sorry, or we're running into him?
Yeah.
Continue.
But, like, he was, like, outside the bar, and, like, we were just chit-chatting and just having, like, a nice, normal conversation. It was actually really funny because, we were talking about him, and my mom were talking about like how like he's gotten older over the like last few years and how he has so many kids, and he was like, yeah, I feel like a Mormon or something.
Jess Margera has a lot of kids?
Jess Margera, yeah.
Wow. Is he there for his kids?
Yeah, he is.
God bless.
But
by the way, I don't think Ben Margera's a bad guy, but like it's
But anyways, I know I'm going on a rant, and I've gone on this rant before, but anyways, like, so whenever I watch this, like, I do feel like it's different than watching any other celebrity thing.
Yeah.
So when I saw April make this video and she started the video like that, I was like, fuck, like, that is terrible. Like, how terrible to like be that extra mom to your kids' friends and like deal with all this shit, or even dealing with fame. Like, think of like the stress that we've encountered just from like where you're at, and
which is not
versus where he's at, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And now everybody is like, oh yeah, you guys are a piece of shit. Or not even that, just knowing that your son is out there acting a fucking fool.
Yeah. And
like just not getting his shit together, and that there's other people like being his friend right now, like running
being
around.
His friend. You mean people on the internet? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the actual people, like I think his new girlfriend, or like he's hanging out with some people where like
they're just enabling his shit behavior.
Yeah, and it's like you're spending time with him, and like there's no way that you hear what's coming out of his mouth and are like, yeah, this is chill.
Yeah, I feel bad.
I just feel like incredibly sad, and I really hope that like Bam eventually gets his shit together. But like I hope that like his family finds peace too, because I just feel bad.
Yeah. I don't enjoy this topic, but this is something that like I think this is like the drama online that I think is like important, because I think a lot of people that engage with YouTube are young or very privileged, and they've never really struggled or seen somebody struggle, and they don't know what it's like, and they see Bam Margera go, this didn't happen to me. I'm a victim of something. And that's typical for drug addicts, unfortunately. And understanding that helps you put into perspective. And people are like, oh, see? Oh, he said that this was... And it's like, yeah. But he's going to say a lot of things to get out of, accountability for what he's doing. Not because he's a bad person, but because that shit fucks you up so bad. And it's horrible.
There was a few weeks ago...
And sorry, I want to just tack on one extra... No, you didn't do anything wrong. I just wanted to make sure I really... Damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Fuck, I had like a point to make to like kind of rattle that off. But my point is that he's not like a bad person, but you need to be hard on some of these things, like, or a little bit more blunt. You can't just be, you can't be an enabler to somebody that's on drugs. When they want to change, they want to change, but then that feeling fades, and they, motivation is, motivation's only part of a circle. You know what I mean? Like you have to force yourself to stay on track. And for something like we're big. And like, so we're kind of addicted to food. So I mean, I can only imagine being addicted to something that just rots your entire brain. I feel bad. Sorry, go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
You like took a break, so I thought I was
because I didn't. I stopped my thought, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, I have more to say," but then I forgot it. Go ahead.
A few weeks ago, there was like an incident where like he was like fucking with his family at Castle Bam and whatnot, and he like ran into the woods.
Okay.
And because like the property is like surrounded by a big area of woods, and so on his local news they posted like Bam Margera basically being like there's a manhunt for Bam Margera because because he like ran into the woods.
I thought they were just being stupid. Really?
Yeah, he ran away into the woods, and he had just like been trying to break down the door and told Jess that he was gonna fucking kill him, and like was threatening to kill like his mom and stuff because he's crazy right now.
Yeah.
But so then he ran into the woods. So they had
that's real. That he like that's a reason why conservatorships exist. You know?
So there was a literal manhunt to find him in the woods, and it was all over Instagram, and everybody was like making TikTok. It's like, oh, like we're going to look for Bam Margera. He's lost in the woods, and it's like, bro, like. Even like with knowing like where he is and his state of mind and the substances he's using, like you're having fun, like, oh, like we're gonna go look for Bam Margera in the forest. Like I really thought you were gonna find his body in the woods, you know. But people are like having fun, like let's find Bam. This is fun. He's a cool guy. He's a jackass. You know, like
it's all fun and games for a lot of. It's kind of similar to people who like showed up to the Johnny Depp trial and were like, you know, I'm here, guys. I'm waiting outside. I'm a fucking psychopath. It's like, holy shit, you know? I don't know.
It irritates me. Even, honestly, the Britney thing.
Britney who?
Britney Spears.
Yeah. Because
now she's out of her conservatorship. And if you look at her fucking Instagram.
She's going a little crazy.
Yeah,
I feel like it's such a hard. I feel like she got the raw end of a stick, and now she's just like in a really weird spot. You know what I mean? I feel bad for her. The way that I think that like the way that the paparazzi and shit, like they fucking sexualized her as a child, and they fucked her up when she broke up with like Justin Timberlake or whatever. They blamed her for being like a slut or whatever. They talked about how sexy she was when she was like 15.
Yeah,
shit's fucking wild, bro. It's fucking crazy. Shit is disgusting. I feel bad for her. You know, when she was having issues with her kid or whatever, like lost her kid or something, and they were like fucking following her around and stuff and harassing her. I feel terrible for her. You know, paparazzi are real scumbags, man.
100%.
Am I basically kind of paparazzi on the internet?
You know, I was just thinking like about how I feel bad talking about April and their family, like in this segment. I was like, wow, like I'm really sitting here like talking about it. But I really do think that like when we talk about things, we don't talk about it for gossip. Like now, and that's why I'm saying like it's stupid, because I really am like trying to express my like genuine feelings about this situation.
I think that there's a difference between us kind of talking about something that we think is interesting but versus people like sensationalizing it. We're not sensationalizing anything. I like to think, and maybe I'm a goofy goober, but I like to think that we're at least having like an intelligent conversation about this. That's like human being conversation instead of this like terminally online sensationalized perspective where anytime a thing happens, we take it and run with it so that we can sell clicks, which is what a lot of people do on TikTok, and like media does it, but people on TikTok do. Lots of people do that, you know? So yeah. I don't really feel bad. Also, I've been doing this kind of stuff for a while. I try not to be super sensationalized though. So yeah. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to say about this segment.
No, I just, I feel for her, and that, I hope she gets that money from that sponsorship. Good for you, Ape. But
what else was in this video?
So I've actually discovered Shot of Joy, which is a kava shot. Never knew what kava was, but comes from Fiji, and it's actually a natural root. It gives you kind of a feeling of having a cocktail, but without having a cocktail. Instead of grabbing a whole bottle of wine and putting a straw in it when you're really stressed out, this might be the best way to go.
Me with cigarettes?
So give it a shot, literally.
Not anymore.
And you might find that it makes you a little bit less edgy too. Try it.
You want to buy it and try it on the next stream? Okay. Sorry, April.
No.
Oh,
Sorry, April.
sorry, April. You bitch. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Well, I was into that segment.
Can I tell?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I tell you something? I watched.
Well, hold on. You have to wait because we got a question twice from Patrick Loogie, and he asked me, "Papa, are you gonna watch the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie? We'll probably see it
in the theaters."
Do you want to?
I'm a little scared. There's so many things coming out in the movies I want to see, though.
We could see a lot.
Little Mermaid comes out on Friday.
What comes out?
Little Mermaid.
Oh.
We have to take my mom to see Guardians.
Yeah.
And then maybe we could see this movie. Matthew Lillard is like the Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
What the fuck? Oh, okay.
Guy from Scream.
Gotcha. What is he?
He's I don't know the lore. Is he like the owner of the arcade or something?
No idea. They probably changed some stuff. Did you know that Joe Pesci is going to be Five Nights at Freddy's, like the Freddy Fazbear?
Is that the guy from Home Alone?
Yes, but it's not true.
Oh.
Hey, did you know Joe Pesci was going to be the bear? Hey, scary. You know what, though? I could never do it, the love of my life. But we could hook up the VR headset to the computer, and you could play Five Nights at Freddy's in fucking virtual reality. It's scary, bro. It's terrifying.
We should do something.
Do you know what that game is like?
They chase you.
No,
you have to watch the cameras or some shit.
Yeah, we'll do
and press buttons.
Yeah. So we'll just do gameplay. This I think is the first one. So it's like this, and you sit here and you pan back and forth, and you have so much power. When the doors close, it drains power. When the lights are on, it drains power. And so like you need to close the doors when they come close to you, so to make sure they don't get in. And then you have to look at the camera.
What are they?
Animatronics. So like, and then they'll come in and they'll like scare you and they'll jump at you.
What do they do when they get to you though?
They jump at you and they scare you. And they eat you, but you don't really see too much. It's more of like the tone, and then they jump out at you and go, ah! You see it right there. It scares you. But I have it in VR. What?
I don't see nothing.
You don't see the Chica right here?
Oh yeah.
But they jump out at you in VR, like, and you see like a giant fucking thing. It's scary as fucking balls, dude. I can't play it. I got to like night 3 and I quit.
No, that sounds like it'll be too scary for your wife.
We'll have somebody play.
What about Phasmophobia? I like playing that.
We could do that. You could do that in VR.
All right, so
what did you want to talk about, Stink?
2 things.
Okay, I'm gonna adjust. Go ahead.
Speaking of scariness, I saw Evil Dead Rise this weekend. I was literally like crying.
Yeah.
And I almost threw up 3 times. I was in the movie theater going like that. Terrible. It was very scary. Anyways, speaking of Britney Spears, I saw this conspiracy theory the other day that Michael Jackson faked his death. And let me tell you.
How did he do that?
That I will find the TikTok and send it to you because it is fucking convincing. That man is alive.
I don't know if I want to engage in conspiracy theories, but maybe you send it to me. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe we'll watch it on the stream or something next week.
And then I was reading through comments, and they were like, "Yeah, someone was like, I feel like everybody who is dead is actually alive, and everybody who is alive actually died." So what I'm saying with that is that they said that apparently, at one point, Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake got into a car accident, and they were like, yeah, I think that they died in that accident, and that the Britney and Justin that we see today are clones, and that's why everything's happening with Britney. They're trying to convince us
what the fuck are you
that
talking?
That's Britney, but it's not really Britney.
I think that kind of conspiracy is a little dangerous.
Some radio show host got fired for announcing that they died in the car accident.
No. Maybe because they actually didn't die in a car accident.
I'm just saying, Oogie Boogies.
Okay, I think that's a little crazy. My fucking bald head is like sticking outside the top of the camera. Interesting conspiracy theory, but we could play VR games. We just have to ignore the app I use for VR porn. Or do you want to check it out?
I do. Would you let me?
Yeah, that's fine.
I want to look at what you look at.
No, I don't think that there's any.
Why?
No, you can't do that.
Why?
No. I don't know. I just got porn. Like, oh, do you want to look at trans porn?
No.
Okay, well then there you go. I don't.
That's not my cup of tea sexually.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. Oh, you said you wanted to look at what I look at.
I want to look at what you look at.
You know what I really want to do with it though? I want to play like the games, like porn games, but you can't play them on the mobile version or whatever it's called. You have to like hook it up to your computer, which means that I could hook that up to the computer with the link, but I don't feel I'm lazy.
I think you stream it.
Yeah, let me stream my shit. Oh, shit, dude. Ooh, I would make money though. I think.
Yeah.
I could do video reactions to porn.
What the fuck?
I could put on Pornhubs up where I'm like sitting
that
there.
Actually, like, no, you don't do that.
I could,
but that actually is a very interesting concept.
I could
a live review of content.
I could do it without showing my dick too. I could just sit here and be like, yeah, I like this, but you know, I could. Should we consider doing that? Like an OnlyFans where we react to porn?
No.
That would be fucking wild.
No,
bro.
It's a very interesting concept, though.
We would hit the
Do
media.
you think that exists?
Yeah. I think I came across a girl who would watch hentai and she would masturbate to it.
Yeah, but was it?
And then she
real?
would no, she would she wouldn't review it like intelligently. She would just masturbate to it. Masturbate.
But was it real or was it like the fake?
No, she was doing it. I watched a good amount of it. I felt you know how people watch my videos because they like watching somebody they like watching an old dad comment through a movie, you know?
Yeah.
It was like that. I got to watch an attractive girl look at hentai. It made it a little better. She was the only one speaking English. It was interesting. How would you? We're just sitting here and there's like a thing at the corner of the screen that's like, "Oh, Nissan," or you know what I mean, or whatever the fuck. Or we wouldn't look at that. We'd look at like regular stuff. We could look at some pretty good stuff. What kind of stuff would you look at? Bailey J.
No.
Queenie Love.
I don't know that one. Now I'm gonna look at it.
Look up Ghetto Gaggers.
What is that?
It's like a lot of throat. It's like a kind of almost.
All right, enough.
It's rough. It's pretty brutal stuff. Blaine F. Why do you keep triple messaging?
Jesus Christ.
You keep triple messaging in there.
Oh my god.
What are you looking at right now?
What was the name? Queenie what?
Queenie Love. What did you look up just now? Ghetto Gaggers?
Yeah.
This is a wild podcast.
Are you getting nervous?
About what? What did I look at? No, not at all. I don't give a fuck what people think about me when it comes to that shit. They want you to give the bike Karen analysis, but I don't think that you're interested in that.
I'll give a short thing.
You what?
I'll give a short thing on my opinion.
Yeah, go. Well, so you want me to give a rundown of like everything that I know?
No, because it's gonna be very short.
Go ahead.
I don't fucking care, to be honest. I really don't care.
I understand.
She was probably being a dumb bitch. And you know what? Shit happens. I don't think it's that deep.
I think, frankly, I think it boils down to two people that were like fighting over a bike, and it's not that big of a deal. And I don't think that there's anything other than that. So I think people are blowing. They're like loading it with a bunch of shit, like a bunch of narratives and stuff. When I think that's inappropriate. It's like a situation that happened, and like this could have been like her worst moment of her life, where like she acted inappropriately. But like you don't need to cancel somebody for doing that. You know, I think it's like kind of shitty. You know, that's it. But no, Blaine, you've been doing that a little bit today. It might be something on your end a little bit where like you think that you're sending something, but like it's not working. So yeah, and it's the mics we use are Samson Q2Us. I like these mics; they're pretty decent. You ready for our next segment?
Sure. What is it? Wait, let me readjust. God damn, I'm like stuck.
We're gonna have to get close because you have to listen to some of this.
No.
Yeah.
What is it?
Baby, why are you screaming right now?
I'm not.
Why are you screaming right now? I don't need you anymore.
Come to me.
I don't need you anymore. This is horrible.
This is your setup.
We're gonna change this. Oh, are you okay? We bought this just for this occasion, so might as well take advantage of it. Do you believe in love after love? I really don't think you should. I can't sing Cher. She's too fucking unique, dude. It's crazy. All right, Stinkabingus. Here you go. Here are your headphones. Here are my headphones. Ba ba boo doo doo. Hey, what's up, unknown? Doo 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 doo. We have to make merch, by the way.
I know. I wrote down today
merch,
that I want to make a hat, and that I want to make a cup and a tumbler.
A tumbler? Oh, like a food tumbler thingy?
Like for iced coffee.
Or like a porn. Tumbler porn. Got it. Okay.
You want that $30 hat, by the way?
No. Maybe. I don't know. He could send me one for free. I'm a nobody, though. Okay. Listen. I saw this, and I wanted to talk about, like, a little bit of virtue bullying as a broad topic. And I found this really good video. Well, this video actually made me want to talk about it. Excuse me, I got like a little gas. It's a TikTok where somebody tags somebody to comment on some video that she made about a person. We don't know what she did because she removed it. And I think that she removed it because she makes this really good point, I think, about proportionality of punishment and whatnot online. Let's watch what she has to say, though.
Absolutely not. Don't ever.
So it says, such and such, please look into this whole thing that she's been talking about. And then she stitched that or whatever. She used that comment to make a video.
This woman in my content. Not her, not Tizzy, not Danesh, none of them. I do not fuck with any of those people. There is a difference between addressing a person who is building a public platform and lying or misleading about their credentials in the place where that harm is happening, which is on the internet with information that that person has put forth publicly, and then addressing that person's board not as punishment or retribution, but to mitigate the harm they are causing. There is a difference between that and targeting a private individual because you don't like them. You don't like something they did. You don't like something they said. I have seen these people unearth people's court records, people's custody records. I have seen them dox people. I have seen them get people fired from their jobs that had no relation to the harm they think they caused. I have seen them create fake profiles of people's dead relatives to harass them from. These people are psychological terrorists with a vigilante complex, and they are just as dangerous, if not more, than Therapy Jessa. I was watching this episode.
Whoa! I don't know what this video is, but what do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely think like the vigilante thing is very like what it is, you know?
Like
Makes
on the
them
nose.
feel good about themselves.
I think that's what I think that everybody has. I think that unfortunately a lot of us have I guess you said the word propensity towards violence. We like a form of violence. All of us like in some capacity, and that's justifiable violence, right? So you see somebody that does a bad thing, and then you go after them, but you don't really necessarily care. You might be like a little upset about what they did, but you use that to allow you to have a disproportionate response to something that they've done wrong, and you try to ruin their lives, like over something. It might not be good. You might have a real piece of shit do something bad. Like I think that there's I don't know all the specifics. There's people that do bad things. Like there was this one girl that was being an obnoxious asshole on an airplane because she didn't want to wear a mask or something, and it's like, oh, let's go dox them. Let's get them fired for their jobs. Like people need to be allowed to make mistakes, or else I wouldn't be born. Because the condom broke. No. People need to be allowed to make mistakes. We're not perfect, and all of us do bad things. And I think the most incredible thing is that the people who are the most aggressive against people who do bad things are usually the worst people themselves because they are not introspective. I've been really on like a quest of self-discovery. I talk about you all the time, and I feel self-conscious about like how the things I've done in the past that are like just bad. I just want to be a better person because you don't even realize how much bad shit that you might have done. And it's important to keep it in perspective and not go crazy and like beat the crap out of yourself. But like, how are you going to become a better person unless you acknowledge these issues that you've engaged in? And like, I know that these other people have like dirty laundry, but it's just that like nobody will know about it, And it's just like, damn, like what happened? These are the same people who are very left leaning, and that's fine. That will talk about how we need to reform murderers. It's like, okay, if you're going to offer reformation to a murderer, maybe the guy that had a bad day was an asshole too. You know, call the behavior out, criticize the behavior, say this is bad, this is why it's bad, this is wrong, but to find out their name, to name and phone number, release that, I remember they got like kids kicked out. Like I think that there were these kids at a school who did something really racist. I don't remember all the specifics, but it was like these white kids who dressed up in like blackface and for Halloween, and they canceled the wrong school that those kids went to. And you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. These kids were like 15 years old. Like, they need to get their asses beat by their parents. But they're trying to find their names, their phone numbers. They wanted to make sure they couldn't even go to college. They wanted to they're doing something really wrong. But like, who are you to assign the punishment like that? You know, and they ended up announcing the wrong school, so the school got like relentlessly harassed. It's wild. Like, this is like, you know, I know that our court system isn't perfect, but this is why we have like a legal system, because we're not equipped to make these decisions. You know?
It is, but that's what like the problem is as well. And just to bring it to another country that I don't really know much about.
Yeah.
I have a friend who lives in another country.
Yeah.
And someone within like their circle over there got in trouble because he was like some type of representative to some degree in the government, and he tweeted some
Islamophobic thing.
Yeah, Islamophobic things. And they were things where, like, I saw the tweets that he made, and they were Islamophobic, but in my opinion, they didn't call violence to Islamic people, but it was more of a, like, I guess I would say like a nationalist type of like,
yeah, like I understand, like,
perspective.
yeah, which is like very wrong, but didn't call violence, which is like, you know, you should have a level of freedom of speech, but like, obviously,
but like he was like a government representative, and it was Islamophobic.
Yeah.
So where they live, he lost his position, but
which makes
he
sense
also
to me.
is facing jail time for
that,
which I found very interesting, because I don't think that jail time is just going to make him more phobic, in my opinion. I don't think that, like,
well, so would losing his job.
Yes, but like anything, like the punishment system does not provide education.
Yeah.
Or anything that, so
well,
like I'm talking about that specific instance because I have like a direct like behavior and a consequence, right?
Yeah.
So here, like, we're talking about those kids that went to Walmart,
so
or we're talking about something with families. There's at least to my knowledge, there's no psychoeducation that would actually help fix this behavior.
Right. No, there's none. In the case of the guy you're talking about, I think losing his job makes sense since like he's some kind of an official. But maybe it doesn't. Well, maybe it does. But the jail time is really bad. Like I would say mandatory sensitivity training or something, like education on why you're a fucking idiot would be a phenomenal idea. For these kids, like, you know, what do you really do? Their parents have to give them a red ass, you know?
Well, that's the thing too, is that I would say that like that behavior, there's some type of narrative at home that supports that behavior. If you ever did anything like that, your mother would
beat the shit out
kill
of
you.
Oh my god. Yeah. God bless her.
That wouldn't fly in my house either.
Yeah.
But there's just like certain standards in different places, and that's the thing. And that's the my social worker hat is coming on.
Mm-hmm.
You need to look at the people and their behavior and where they're at, what is learned, what's going on there. Like, we are in a time where it's like things are still changing. Yeah. The concept of treating people equally is rather new.
That's a good point.
And maybe it's just because of where we live, and like we're from New York. New York is a very segregated place. Specifically, Long Island is a very segregated place.
It's a lot of Italians.
Yeah, it is. But, I come from a family that has a lot of racist language was used and stuff.
Yeah. Funny enough, my family doesn't use racist language.
Your family is so
except
nice.
for me. I'm the ultimate warrior. I'm just kidding. No, both my families. The really nice family. Which they're so nice.
They're so nice.
And then my actual
nice
family,
it makes me uncomfortable.
My actual family is not nice, but they're not racist. They're just kind of annoying. You know what I mean? So.
But it's just really time is changing. People learn things for certain reasons. And so you need to take that into consideration. So when I see like those kids talking, like we're talking about those kids that were in Walmart.
Yeah.
For me, like I look at that situation, I'm like, they're in the timeline, they're still back here.
Yeah.
Like where they're at, the values of their community have not moved to where we are now.
Yeah. But I don't think that the solution is to ruin their lives. Like
because that only does things to hold them back, and like to stop someone from going to college or something like that quite literally doesn't make sense, because first of all,
that's where you'd get the education to not be fucking racist.
Like we don't even know who they are now. So am I gonna know if they go to this college or that college? No. Yeah. Could it potentially cause problems on the campus? Yes, but
also that's where education is supposed to happen. You're supposed to, and when you go to college, I imagine it's a little more diverse than where you used to go. I mean, I'm lucky. I grew up in like a fucking, like, I think that
pretty diverse place.
Yeah, like I think white people were like the minority where I grew up. Kind of. We were like a third. It was like 30% white, 30% black, I think, like 30% Hispanic, or I don't know, 30% Hispanic, and then like 2% Asian or something like that, Yeah, but obviously my math didn't add up. It wasn't a good school. No. But it was pretty diverse. So I grew up there, and my mom worked at White Castle, and like for whatever reason, my mom was like the only white person who worked at White Castle. Everybody is like, have you ever gone inside? Everybody's like black and Hispanic and stuff. So I grew up around a lot of Hispanic people. I had a second mom, and she was Hispanic. And my mother would always say, like, if he misbehaves, you can beat him. And I didn't misbehave. I was a good boy. But I got lucky,
I just want to go back for a second and saying that, like, in looking at, like, the other, I guess, contributors to people's behavior, that doesn't excuse the behavior or say that a behavior is not bad or saying that it doesn't matter. That's not what I'm saying. But first of all, I think that it's better to react to something level-headed and be able to take a deep breath and go like, okay,
how do we move through this?
This is what we're dealing with, and this is how we address this problem so that we can move forward.
And really quick, I just want to throw in there, because the priority of it is to educate the person, not for us to feel good, right? Like,
yeah.
When you see a racist person, it's a very cathartic experience to berate them, right? And there is place for that. But from an educational perspective, the goal is what's important. How do we stop the behavior from like a psychological and educational perspective? The first step isn't to like berate somebody. So I understand socially, whatever, but like when it comes to like a system, the system needs to be a little bit more intelligent and less emotional.
Exactly. So again, that doesn't like excuse behavior. Behavior could still be bad. But if you're not making an effort to fix that behavior, then what are you doing?
Yeah, you're not helping at all, right? Like, because there are still going to be people that agree with those perspectives, and you're not changing anybody's mind.
No, it's like we've talked about it before. There was one night we were driving, and the person in front of us was going slow, but we knew it was like there was something in front going on, and so he was like pulling to the side, trying to like look around the car in front of him to see who was going slow.
Me?
Yeah.
Why are you talking shit about me?
Because it's an
all right, go ahead.
It's like a comparative situation.
I know what you're gonna say. I get what you mean.
And I was like, why are you trying to look ahead so you could see who you could be mad at? Like, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, we're still stuck in traffic, and you're like, yeah.
And so it's the same thing, we look at these videos, these 30-second clips. we see someone doing something bad towards another person.
Yeah.
Right? And we see that 30-second clip and we like to
we
scream
make an
and yell, fuck you,
instantaneous
let's
judgment.
ruin your life.
Mm.
But what else are we taking into consideration? And other than yelling, what are you're just yelling.
Well, there's also a psychological process where the first bit of information that you interact with is the information that you're going to base your perspective on. And even if you're factually and objectively incorrect, you tend to double down on your initial perspective, which is where I think a lot of these come from. You see a video online, somebody creates a narrative, all of a sudden you believe that narrative. Because like I'll watch like weird videos in my For You page on TikTok sometimes and where else, and there's no context. So you look at the comments like this guy did this, but like that oftentimes is just not true. Right. And so, but now you have this entire narrative that was created off of something you had no fucking idea what's going on. And for a lot of people, they're just like, oh, that's bad. And they move on. But the loudest, most obnoxious people who want to feel the best about themselves, people who are financially incentivized to make sensationalized stories in a particular direction, the people like the ones that she called out in her video, those are the people that are like really dangerous. They're basically media, but like without the reputation. You know, unfortunately, like Fox News somehow is more reputable than these fucking psychopaths. They're held to no standard, and there's no accountability for when they get things wrong, and they don't take personal accountability. They don't apologize for their mistakes. They just continuously double down. They instantaneous news. It's breaking news content. They have a perspective. They can run with it, and the people in their sphere do not hold them accountable to it. They're losers, and they have a negative impact on society. You know, I think it would be better if we had a more educated perspective on how to educate people on particular behaviors. You know.
I also, somebody in the chat said something about how something about Brock Turner. Like, do you think that this came out of, or sorry, I think they deleted the message, but I still think it's important to touch upon, is like, do you think that this came out of situations like Brock Turner having a very like comparably small sentence or whatever, so really to the act?
Yeah, really quick with Brock Turner was somebody who sexually assaulted a woman behind a dumpster, and he basically got away with it because he had a bright future. I personally, do you want to answer it first, or?
So what I was going to say is that yes, I do think that at the core, like that's where it starts. But I think that there's a couple of, again, like we're talking about, like where behavior comes from, right? In my opinion, from what I've observed, is I do think that it's part of the whole COVID thing. How I think that we've jumped.
Oh, as far as where it's coming from.
Yeah, that we've jumped where we are socially faster than we have before, based on everybody being at home and interacting with each other and being able to only focus on social matters. I think that's one aspect of it. I think the other aspect of it is that social media is still so new that we still do not know how to act with it.
That's actually a really good point.
You know, and how much we... Sorry.
I swear to God. I picked this woman up from the airport. The first thing that happens is that goes off, that fucking alarm that goes off.
I said, did you miss that?
And she goes, did you miss that? Right in my fucking head. Go ahead. Continue,
but anyways, like with how much we share about ourselves, and not even in the way of like, oh, like what information are people going to steal that's going to impact me financially or stuff like that. Just how much are we sharing? Even right now during this video that we're making, how much am I sharing about myself that is actually a little too intimate and I don't want other people to know?
Yeah.
Or, you know, what did I tweet out? Just even like I just said, I used to call Bam Margera's hotline and tell him that I loved him. I don't want people to know that, but here I am saying it, you know.
You think people have really bad boundaries with the internet?
Yes, most definitely. And I think that's part of it, of like filming in public, filming others. Like I really don't think that we've learned how to interact with even ourselves, but others on social media. So that compacted with how quickly we've moved socially, I really think is what has led to these, you know, these cancelings, doxing.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I had a word that I was going to say, but I don't remember. But I think that's where
we need like an internet court.
A part of this.
You know, a set of internet rules. But we don't have that. People, it's a fucking free-for-all.
No, and I think that's because, like I said, like I think it's so new. I don't think that we've talked about this a little bit about like how we in our however many years we have now, 28, 33, how are we going to educate our children on things or start to educate them on things that they're not going to understand until they're older? So an example of that is being like sexually active.
Yeah.
When you're 13, 14 years old, you're like, yeah, like I'm an adult, like whatever. But
yeah, they think they are.
But you're not going to understand how something like being sexually active is going to impact you in your development until you are very older. But I do think that there is a way for us to find to educate young people on those things.
I think that what we do is just say you have to be a virgin until you're 30. That's going to be our daughter.
And then we're going to have grandchildren at 40.
Good. Wait, what? That'd be horrible. I'm 30. I'm 33. If we have a grandchild at 40, that's something's happened. That'd be horrible.
So anyways.
Oh my God. And it'd have to be the boy that got a girl pregnant because girls can't get pregnant at that age. So somebody molested our son.
Either.
That's horrible.
But anyways, I don't think that we've even had enough time with social media to really take into consideration like what you're experiencing on social media as a young adult and how it's impacting you as a true adult.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do understand exactly what you're saying. Well, we're not having the right conversations about a lot of these things because I think that we talk about this every once in a while, but people do get sexually active very young, and they don't understand what it means. And so because of that, adults want to protect the young people from getting hurt. And so they get very, I think very almost sensationalized about what's going to happen to you. Like, for instance, you got like some 14-year-old girls going on to like Omegle and trying to show their tits to like fucking disgusting older men, which is wrong. They shouldn't be doing that. And those old men need to go off to like an island or something. But the social conversation we have now is that like, if you did that, you're traumatized and like, you're like, you know what I mean? And we tell young people that like all older men are going to like hurt you and they're going to like molest you and they're going to do this, and it scares the fuck out of people. And like we either do we just do an ineffective job of communicating. So either we can't communicate the dangers of it properly to these young people, and so they don't care and they do whatever, or we communicate too much fear, and then these people are like fucking like walking around not knowing they can't trust a fucking mailman. Do I make sense there, or am I off on am I off a little bit?
You are.
I'm off a little bit?
No, you make sense.
Yeah, it's hard to communicate that thought.
I think, like, again, relating back to the original video, what we're trying to say with this is that people don't know how to act. And so, like you said before, we don't have good boundaries with the internet.
Yep. And
so people are acting a fool. They're out here thinking that they're saving the world when they're really not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They feel like they've done like oh my God, you got this person canceled. Like, you're saving. And they feel powerful. They feel like they feel like vigilantes. They feel like fucking Batman. Like, because they were able to cancel. The virtuous savior of the world, was able to cancel the horrible, evil person. But you don't really know if that person is evil. You know that what they did might be evil. It might be a bad thing. But you don't know if they're evil. So you might have destroyed a person's life that had a bad day or did a bad thing, and when you could have tried to engage in like education.
Yes, and what you're doing is you're actually causing the cancellation on the social media. Social media doesn't matter. But what's happening is that the cancellation is going into real life things and then creating real problems for actual society.
Yeah.
I've seen people talking about like how they've gotten canceled and it's impacting their parents' jobs.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like, that's real life issues. That's a problem. Somebody's a fucking idiot and does something stupid and they lose one job. That's fine. But why should it prevent them from being a productive member of society and going to another field to get a job? Because them losing the job probably did impact them. But if you stop them from being able to create any type of movement in their life or anything, they're just going to become more resentful. And what's the word you use? Double down?
Yeah, they'll double down on their perspective.
And like get even deeper on what got them in trouble in the first place.
Yeah, and then there's also going to be the people that didn't get canceled, but that look at the person that did get canceled and they go, this seems like kind of a stupid reason to get canceled. And it makes them tune out of like the greater social conversation. Again, I think the biggest issue with me is that so many people make so many mistakes as they move through life, and they can't extend any level of charitability to people who make mistakes. I don't get that fundamentally. You know, we are all flawed creatures. We all do things that are bad. And I think it would be nice to just be like, okay, you know, and give somebody some benefit of the doubt. You know, criticize the behavior. That's the thing. Criticize the behavior. Say this person did this thing and this is horrible and they're a bad person. That's fine. Say that. Or say that the behavior is bad. But you want to say that they're a bad person, do your thing. But to find out where they live and where they work and cancel them. I mean, it's one thing for a politician to get canceled, right? Because you're a political figure that's having an impact on people's like directly lives. But like, you know, the guy that works at McDonald's, do you think that like, you know, he needs to be fucking canceled for the, you know, for what he's doing? No. Criticize him socially and then give him time to sit and think about it. Because I mean, that happened to me. You know, when I got my cancellation, I got banned on TikTok, which was kind of my job, but that's like a little different. That's a different, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine. That's getting banned on TikTok isn't the same as like losing your fucking full-time job at a company. But I was able to sit down and reflect and go like, okay. You know, although I was reflecting before the ban, so. But the point is, there's something. I understand getting banned off of a social media because you can get a real job, but getting banned, losing your ability to make a living at like another job, is fucking wild. So yeah, you're supposed to say something.
What was I supposed to say?
Oh, I don't know. Are we good?
I think so.
Oh, cool.
Someone mentioned in the chat, it's like related but not related. Someone mentioned like, they asked about like an age limit on the use of social media.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know. I don't really have a good opinion on this, I guess, because I come from the place. If I had my ideal world, I guess part of it is that we would provide better education so that when like kids do interact with things that isn't exactly appropriate for their age, they're just like more prepared.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think that there needs to be an age limit on the concept of something like TikTok, Twitter, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
But again, that's because we don't know how to behave on social media. If there's things like what's inappropriate on TikTok for children?
Boobies.
But there is no boobies on TikTok. There shouldn't be.
But there are boobies. Like just even like a covered titties, OnlyFans stuff.
But, okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we putting out there? You know?
Sure. I think that there needs to be limited monitoring from TikTok's end to try to make sure that, like, boobs don't go into a child's algorithm. But at the same time...
I just don't think that there should be boobs on TikTok.
Right, but, like, if covered boobs with cleavage, you think that there should be in that?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like OnlyFans, like there are people who plug their OnlyFans by like jiggling their tits and stuff.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like I fucking 13 years old, I had my titties out just as much as an OnlyFans girl advertising her shit did. You know why? Because I had titties and I wanted attention from boys.
Yeah, I know, but
you know what I mean. Like,
I
and
get
that's
what
the
you're
thing.
saying.
I don't think that that's a bad thing.
Well, my only issue with OnlyFans girl titties that are covered nipple wise for young boys looking at that is that the internet is like men tend to be more visual, so the internet is fucking wild. You go and you look up titties on Google and you're gonna find a girls pissing on each other, and I think that rots your brain and desensitizes you, and I think that that's a whole different conversation. But that's where I get worried a little bit when it comes to that. But what I wanted to say before to rattle off what you were saying is that I think that more than anything else, there should be classes. I'm not even kidding about social media. There needs to be deep engagements with this material of what social media is, the negative impacts it can have on your brain, and that needs to be a class inside of schools to teach kids about what's going on in an accurate way so that they can look at that teaching and go, oh, I actually am experiencing that right now. This is correct. I'm going to take this advice, you know?
Mm-hmm. I just want to go back to what you said then, and like you talked about the internet, and I know we've had very deep conversations about really the hole that you get into watching like porn.
Yeah, it's like
how deep it takes you quickly, right?
Yeah.
But so two things on that. Like, first of all, you mentioned like OnlyFans girls on TikToks. You talk about all the time how your Spanish teacher, math teacher,
English
Ms.
teacher.
Dorsa.
Stop doxing her.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah. My English teacher. I was just fucking with you. But go ahead.
Like, that was your teacher in math class.
No, English.
Whatever. That was
English
your
is
teacher.
red.
So, like, if you were so crazy over your teacher, like, teenagers are crazy over anything. It doesn't have to be something special. However.
My point is that you can look it up on the internet, and I can't my teacher's ass isn't the internet. So, like, if you see it online, it's a little easier to access that. But I get that's more of a fundamental problem.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, like, I don't know, whatever. We'll just move on from that point. But if we had better education to be able to tell, like, a teenager, like, hey, because all we do is say, you shouldn't look at this. Porn is for 18 years and older. You shouldn't look at that.
They don't explain why.
But if we explained why, like, hey, like, there's things, like, even, like, sexually that, like, you might not be prepared to look at. And these are the reasons why you might not be prepared to look at them. Up. And, like, when, like, you're older, you might find interest in some things, blah, blah, blah. So if you actually provided education, because that's the thing, one of the things we talked about, skip or whatever, we talked about physical interventions last week. Mm-hmm. And I said, so part of that training is that you learn that if someone's having behaviors where they're engaging in property destruction and there's a chair over there, you don't say to them, don't you throw that chair. Yeah. Because then they're going to pick up the chair and throw it. Right. So if we say, like, oh, you can only be on TikTok if you're 16, you can only watch porn if you're 18 years and older, you can only smoke when you're 19, well, guess what? I'm going to find a way to seek a cigarette. I'm going to get on TikTok.
Right, but really quick, to the cigarette point is a little bit different because, like, yeah, you'll find a way to get a cigarette, but the businesses can't sell them to you. So that works pretty well, limiting the age that you can smoke cigarettes because you can't buy them yourself. It becomes very difficult. But in online spaces saying you can't use TikTok till you're 16, how do you bypass that? You just say you're 17.
You put in a different date. That's the way with cigarettes. You get someone else to buy them.
Okay, right. But the cigarette thing is harder. The cigarette thing is, I think, is a little. I understand what you're saying fundamentally, but it sounds like what you're getting at is like the right solution isn't to age restrict particular things, right? Mm-hmm. But age restricting cigarettes is a good idea overall. Is the only point that I'm trying to get at, and it's more effective because it's in the real world, so it's usually a little bit easier. It works better than restricting porn. Like a Pornhub, you just say you're 18, you're in. Yeah, you know,
they really make that so easy. Are you over 18?
Yes. No, kicks you out forever. You know.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that there needs to be more intelligence.
There needs to be reason, and like that's the thing is that you can reason with young adults, teenagers.
Yeah, you can. I also think that you should let your teenage kid drink alcohol. Well, I don't think you should, but I think you can do it the right way. This didn't happen. This is a joke, but I used to drink when I was like younger at facilitated family parties. I don't like drinking now. You know what I mean? Like I didn't. So many people hit 21 that I know, and they went fucking crazy. I hit 21 and I got drunk on my birthday, the first time I could legally drink. And then I just didn't drink for like a long time. And then like I would get drunk every once in a while, but it was pretty.
Yeah, I got my partying phase out when I was 18.
Yeah.
A couple of times when I was 21, but like I was done. And we were actually just talking about this, about how we know some people who like in like their younger years, high schools, early 20s, they like suppressed parts of themselves. And now we're seeing.
Embrace that.
Now we're seeing that they're a little older now, and they're, to us, it's like, what the fuck is happening? They seem like a little immature, but they're like living that.
Oh, are we talking about who I think we're talking about?
Yeah, what we talked about at dinner. People? Yeah. Yeah. Like, and I could like compare it to like other people in our lives as well, that they just didn't have that time to like live out those younger years, and now they're doing it now that they've, I don't know, they're their full selves. They're able to live the way they want to.
Then like they kind of explode once we once they're able to go off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Absolutely. That happens fundamentally. And they kind of like start live like it's like really religious people that are like, you cannot have sex. And they're like, oh, so they're virgins. And then all of a sudden they have sex once. They're like, holy, like, they just go fucking crazy. Yeah. No sex, no alcohol, no anything. You can't do anything. You're completely this, that, the other thing. All of a sudden they hit 18. They're like, holy shit. And they just start fucking going crazy. And that's why you see so many like devout religious families have whore daughters and sons, you know? And sons, by the way, both of them.
I know a girl that just got weight loss surgery, and she's been big since high school.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just stretching my leg.
And she got weight loss surgery, and like she looks good, and now like she goes out every weekend. I've seen that difference.
I guess she has like a feeling. Does she look good or does she look malnourished?
She looks malnourished.
It's no, not to be rude because I understand.
But
like,
she recently got the surgery, so but.
Sometimes, like, you know, you lose weight so fast, like your hair starts to fall out and shit, and starts to like get really brittle and stuff.
Yeah, she looks like she got weight loss surgery, but she looks happier, and like she's engaging in more activities that are important to her.
Yeah. Good for her. God bless
so,
her.
and it's like, but like we're older, you know, like she's doing things that like I saw on social media when we were more like 21, 22.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what I would do if I lost a lot of weight?
The same thing we're doing now.
No, I would like lift you up when we're doing it. Like I'd be like, boom, boom, boom. That's the only thing that I would change. Yeah.
But yeah, so that, you know what, we talk about a lot of things of what we want to do in the future and like different like different organizations we would want to have and stuff like that. I think it might be nice to develop like a curriculum to teach teens about, find a more productive way to teach teens about things that they're doing that's going to actually impact them.
Like you stop stealing Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah.
No, I 1,000% agree with you. I think that what you're saying is very good. Sorry. Trying to burp. Yeah, I like that conversation. That was very productive.
Yeah.
Like very sexy when you're smart, you know?
Thanks, Daddy.
Ooh. These just fly by. We do so well. I don't want to talk about this entire video. That there's a clip in this video I want to talk to you about. Okay, it's you just gotta listen. It's like less than a minute.
You just took the headphones away.
I'm gonna give them back.
Can I shut my mic off for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead. What do you want to do? What are you doing? What did I do to
Talk about
deserve?
it. So let me play the whole thing for you now.
Everybody, Sorry Zero Sugar is delicious. It really is.
I'm bussing. It's a ballad. Shut up. Telling me to back up, you fucking nerd. Here, take this. Okay.
Just write this down. The timestamp where we started this segment, guys.
Okay, baby love. We're not gonna watch the whole video. We're just gonna watch the clip that the video is about. But it was on like my thing, and I want to talk about it. It's about nonviolent communication. It's a TikTok that people have been kind of dumpstering. Have you seen it before? You smiled.
No, I looked at the thing and I'm like, oh, are you about to attack me right now?
No, we're about. I want to know what you have to think about this video, but it's just we're just watching the clip.
You're always so careless.
Well, hold on a sec. Let's use some non-violent communication here. Instead of attacking me, let's start with observation. So the trash is still in the bin. That's a fact.
Okay, fine. The trash is still in the bin.
Right, now let's move on to feelings. How are you feeling about the trash being in the bin?
I'm feeling frustrated and annoyed.
Got it. And what need or value is being unmet for you when the trash isn't taken out?
I guess I just value cleanliness and organization in our home.
Okay, so now can you make a request to address that need? Can you please request that I take the trash out next time I see it's full?
Yes, I request that you please take out the trash next time you see it's full.
Understood. I'll make sure to take care of it. And remember, we can always use this non-violent communication process to effectively resolve conflicts and meet each other's needs.
You know,
Can I tell you something?
What?
I would rather you hit me than ever engage in non-violent communication. I feel like this is the most condescending, ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And I'm offended at its existence. In this scenario, the guy forgot to take the trash out. And the girl is like, yo, you didn't take the trash out, bro. And he's like, no, whoa. First, what's the issue you're having? You were supposed to take the fucking trash out like a week ago, asshole. Like, what do you mean? What's the issue? How does that make you feel? Bro, it's not that deep. Okay? And maybe if you were a little rude about taking the trash out, I might be, baby, chill. I'll do it right now. That's fine. What's the need that you need to address? Let me let's go through this like a fucking, what are we in school? You talk to you're talking to her like she's an asshole, you know? It offended me being the man in the situation. I'd rather you take a wooden ladle and just fucking smack my bald head with it than ever say that. That's what I had to say. What do you have to say?
I think I actually have a lot to say.
I thought you would. I thought you would. Go ahead.
You have to, you can't prep me for this before stream. Like, this is good that you're just showing it to me.
Oh, so you like the
if I would have seen this before, I would have been like, I'm not talking about this. But this is good in the moment.
I got my wife in there. I'm never going to ask questions.
The first thing.
Go ahead.
Is that
my wife hates this.
If I ever said, because we do have this problem. What's that? The garbage? Yeah, I love you. We're gonna get a little real.
Yeah, let's get real. Let's get real.
I ask you to do chores, and
sometimes I'm lazy about
just
them.
Don't do it.
I know. I'm sorry.
So
listen. Sometimes I get good at. I'm not doing too bad. I still have to clean the stove, but I fucking hate cleaning the stove. I will do it for you though. But I know what you're saying. Go ahead. Continue.
So there's so many things.
Go.
First one being is that I think the word I'm going to choose is inherently.
Oh, yeah.
I am inherently passive aggressive. I don't always mean it.
Me too. We can take these out.
Yeah. You do point it out to me because I don't always realize that what I'm doing comes off as passive aggressive.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But let me tell you,
and I'm sarcastic.
If I ever said something to you passive aggressive and you said let's pause and explain your feelings, I would fuck you up.
I know.
Don't ever fucking talk to me again.
Well, because that's condescending. Listen, we both do things wrong. I could be lazy. Sometimes you could be passive aggressive. But I think last time you did it, I don't remember the specific. I don't really care what happened exactly, or what it was about. I don't care. But you did something that I felt was a little passive aggressive. I said, "Baby, I fucked up, but I feel like you're being passive aggressive."
Could you not say it in passive aggressive way, or could you just not be passive aggressive?
Well, I wasn't that aggressive. Was I?
I don't interpret that as aggressive. We're from fucking New York.
I know. Okay. So I was.
So that's not being aggressive, but you said, can you not be aggressive, passive aggressive? And then I'm I paused and I was like, I didn't mean it in that way, and then we can have a conversation about the way I'm talking to you. But if you ever stopped me like that, and I put you in the fucking garbage.
Hold up, sailor's hat on. No, we communicate pretty well. Let me give you today we had something like this. I was talking about how in the shower. Remember, I was washing my body for you, and you were looking through the shower. And I was talking about how there are things that I've done in the past that I'm just disappointed with some of the behaviors I've engaged in. Because I'm really trying to be a better person. And I talked to my wife a lot about these deep things because my wife is because she's my behavioral specialist. And you were like, oh, am I a bad person for other things you did in your past? Basically the stuff that keeps you up at night, guys, when you're about to go to sleep, and you're the stupid thing I did when I was 12, And I talked about it in a way where I think I was accidentally invalidating. I was like, no, you haven't done anything wrong. What I've done was much worse. But it was almost in a way that I think could have been communicated as oh, shut up. Your problems aren't a big deal. And I unintentionally minimized it. And you kind of got a little upset. And then I was like, fuck, I can't believe you didn't even say anything to me, but I saw that you got a little upset. So I'm like, oh, wait, that's not how I meant it. And then we had a really good open dialogue.
Yeah.
But it was natural. It's flowing. We're both aware of what we're doing and we're saying. And when the other one's not aware of something, then we are wait, hey, I want to advocate for myself. And we generally do pretty well. It's not easy, but we do pretty well with advocating for ourselves and trying to be sensitive of each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't look anything like this. This is like your dad is scolding you. This is the teacher is yelling at you.
But I want to get to the other point of this video.
Yeah.
That this guy's like, okay, next time I see the garbage is full, I'll take it out. No, you fucking won't, bitch. That garbage.
He already didn't.
And you know what? I'm going to own up to it. I have been passive aggressive. Have you noticed what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks when the garbage is full?
Just leaving it? Oh, you were doing that to be passive aggressive?
Because if you're not taking out the fucking garbage, I'm not taking it out either. I'm
a little upset right now.
I've been just taking a garbage bag and putting it on the chair. Because take out the fucking garbage.
Stop. So my wife's been taking the garbage out of the garbage can and putting it next to the garbage can.
No, that's not it. That's not what I'm talking about.
That's what you.
That's when I'm making a little effort.
I thought you were doing that. Like just now, I thought because I was like, oh, that's a good idea, and then I'll usually take it out because I notice it.
No, that's when like I'm not ready to go outside yet. But if I'm
I'll take the garbage out. I don't
if
care.
I'm putting a bag on the
front
the
door,
chair,
on the front door, of the chair.
No, on the chair.
When have you been putting bags in the chair in the kitchen?
When the garbage is overly fucking full, and it's as obviously full.
I've never seen you put a bag on the chair.
And I put a bag on the chair in the kitchen, and I start filling that out.
I've never seen you do that before.
Well, you've taken out the garbage when I do it. Oh.
No, because here's the thing: is that like when you like, there are times where you take the garbage bags out and then you put it by the front door or on the front door. I go, oh shit! I forgot to take the garbage out, and I take it out. I thought that's you being nice and prompting me.
See, I love you because I'm doing it. I'm like this motherfucker.
That's so that. Can I tell you though? Can I be vulnerable? That makes me a little sad.
I'm sorry.
Because like I can be an idiot sometimes. So if you're just like, hey, the garbage is like take it out, or I would be like, oh my bad. Because I'm just like I'm like ditzy. I thought you were being nice to me. I'm like, oh, this woman understands me so deeply.
Sometimes. Okay, so here now we're having like a raw. No boundaries with the internet. We're having like a raw
oversharing podcast. Yeah, we're having a raw relationship.
Yeah, the fucking real oversharing podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that like when you don't take out the garbage or do something like that, I don't think that you're doing it against me.
No, but I'm being lazy sometimes, or stupid.
And like for me, like it's something so stupid, but like it's real things to like think about in a relationship. How she just said like, oh, I feel this way when the house blah blah blah. Like, yeah, for me when the house is messy,
yeah,
like,
you get very upset.
Drives me crazy.
You get very upset.
Where like you kind of just
don't give a fuck.
In it, I function in chaos. And for me, like I get so upset. Like this house is driving me fucking crazy right now, and that's why this weekend, I want to spend the weekend like getting it together.
We will.
So like, yeah, like when I do like take out the garbage or whatever, yeah, like I am pissed. But like,
well, listen, when you were away, this house was even messier than it is now. I cleaned up a lot. I did the dishes. I took the garbage out. I started a load of laundry. You. My wife will give me appreciation for like very basic, very low standard, very basic tasks I do. So I like telling her, and she's like, "Good job." She gives me gold stars.
No, but that's the thing is that
I'm not kidding. I enjoy it when you're like, "Thank you, baby." When it's like not even warranted.
Well, I appreciate it because we talk about this a lot too. Because you talk a lot about like red pill content and stuff like that.
Chores,
And it's like I do. Like I've been yawning during this stream, right? But that's because I got in from vacation last night and went to work this morning. You know, like I go to work every day and I come home, and a lot of times I come home and I start cooking dinner, or I'm doing those chores. You know, and that's what's always like missing in the red pill content is the concept. And I know that you do bring it up, but like women having like a job after their job.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so for me, like when it is something like you washing the godforsaken broiler pan,
I fucking hate the broiler pan.
That's just something that I don't have to do.
Yeah, I've been trying to do dishes and stuff. I have it soaking. I gotta finish washing it.
But so this video is actually funny because it's like, fuck you for talking to me like that. Second of all, you're not gonna take out the fucking garbage when you see it.
Yeah, whether it's intentional or not. Like I just don't notice it a lot of the times.
Yeah, like it does not fucking register. I don't know what it is. I love you.
I know. You know what I think part of it is, for me at least personally, is I see the garbage is a little full and I'm like, I don't want to waste the bag. Like we can still fit more. Just shove it down is a little bit of my perspective. Sometimes we take the garbage out and like there's like half a bag left and I'm like, this is kind of a waste of plastic.
But when we
I have
take
that
it
thought.
out, when it's only halfway filled, we're taking it out for a reason. Usually,
Yeah, because you get
something in
mad at
there
it.
is smelly.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know?
That's fair.
Stuff like that. But I really think that like men's brains and women's brains are different.
For sure.
And men just fucking don't notice things.
That's true.
Men don't think as deeply about certain things.
Maybe, yeah, sure.
Like some things just like it's not happening there. Me and my mom always joke about it because she was talking to a guy at work once, and I think they were asking him, like, he was sitting there and they were like, oh, what are you thinking about? And he was like, nothing.
Well, the thing is, I can't do that. You know that I'm always rolling thinking.
Yeah.
A lot of times I walk through the house imagining 1,000 different scenarios. A lot of times it's different conversations or debates that I would potentially have with somebody, especially if I make a video on that particular person and how those scenarios would play out. So I'm like in my head a lot obsessed. And when you ask me, what are you thinking about right now? It's a fucking insane scenario that I've constructed in my head of like the person that's like 1,000 times bigger than me as a content creator ever responding to me, and me trying to be prepared with what I would have to say so I didn't look like a fucking idiot. So like I do those types of things, but I understand what you're saying because I worked with a guy who would just sit up against the bus on like when he was not doing any work, and he would just do this, and he would just stare for like a half an hour, and he wouldn't fucking move.
It's fucking crazy.
But really quick, I am a little lazy when it comes to the chores, but I try. I do. Oh, by the way, we need to get the dishwasher. The top rack, you cannot pull it out anymore. It broke more.
Can we go this weekend?
I'm all over getting a new dishwasher. We got like 18 in the bank. Anyway,
$18. Period.
yeah. We're doing fun with that. But like I can be lazy, but I feel like I'm at least decently considerate to you, and I try to do. I just want to defend myself a little bit because I'm not like a worthless person.
No, 100%.
And like for instance, like when you remember that time you went to the city, and I know this doesn't happen constantly, but and you went to the city to see a show with your friend, and it was getting later at the intermission. You're like, I don't think I'm gonna make the train. I'd have to wait like 45 minutes and standing by myself. And you said that, and I got up and I got in the car and I started driving like the hour and a half or whatever to the city just to pick you up. You know, I care. I love you a lot, and I want you to be safe.
Yeah.
I could just be a little lazy when it comes to house chores.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely, like, I'm not, that's what I'm saying, like, we're being raw. That was a raw moment.
Yeah.
And, like, you're not a piece of shit husband or anything, and I also take a lot of emotional maintenance.
That's right. I don't care about that.
But, again, it's, like, just about things that you value. Like, we've had the conversation about when I've been lacking on cooking dinner for you.
I
Like,
don't really.
well, because that's
I just say
something
let's go get
that's-
pizza. You know.
We don't have to get into like the ins and outs of
Okay,
our
okay.
relationship,
Yeah.
but like we got lazy, and something that's become important in our relationship is me cooking for you. You know?
Yeah, when we first started dating, you would do like a lot for me, but like that, I know what you're saying, and then I remember because like that's like your love language a little bit, right?
Yeah, and like our
And so it wasn't even about how you weren't making dinner for me. It's about like, oh hey, this has been your love language to me, is like, you know, maybe doing something like this or that, or cooking this and that. And I just to me, it felt like maybe you didn't love me as much. And then we talked about it. And now I don't think I've been as bad anymore at all. We talked about it.
Yeah, I'm just bringing up that as an example of like relationships ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And like different things matter, and like you communicate how like the actions of another person makes you feel.
Yeah.
But in a normal way, not like Captain over here.
Yeah, fucking Captain Asshole.
And like you fucking deal with it. But at the end of the day, the husband's not going to take out the garbage unless you tell him.
No, but it's so true. You remember when we first started dating? You do this thing that your fucking mother does, and it started driving me nuts. You write notes. Just let me talk. You write notes and lists. And I was like, this bitch is a fucking condescending asshole. My wife stopped writing me notes. Now, every time I want her to have, she wants me to do something, I say, please write it down for me. That's how this works now.
He can't function.
I can't
unless I write
function
it
anymore.
down.
It's like fucking Death Note, except it's like chores note. Right? So
But
she's
it's-
got to be like, you got to do this and this. I'm like, okay. And then it's easier for me. I don't know what it is, but like you've trained me like a fucking animal.
But it's just, again, the garbage.
You have to write it on there.
I'm gonna poke a little fun at you.
Okay, go ahead. All right,
We've
go
been
ahead.
living together for what, 2 years now?
Sure, yeah.
I have a calendar. Not only do we have the actual calendar on the fridge,
Stop.
but I have a color-coded calendar that says the night the garbage goes out, the night the paper, the night the plastic goes out. We've been living together 2 days, and these days have not changed.
2 years.
He picks me up last night and was like, "Oh, is the garbage supposed to go out tonight?" No, bitch, it was supposed to go out fucking yesterday.
I took it
I
out.
guess it's not going out now.
It's supposed to go to the curb. I took it outside.
Yeah, the garbage to the curb.
Yep, yeah, I did. Listen,
But like that's the thing is like, bro, you have. There's no way.
But
what
okay,
nights do the garbage go out?
Tuesday. So like Tuesday morning. So Tuesday and like I think it's Saturday.
No.
Friday, Sunday morning.
No.
Thursday.
Thursday night.
Oh, okay, so Tuesday and Friday.
Yeah.
You're right. Can I offer a counter perspective?
Yes, sir.
I don't even know how to articulate this. I can't function without notes, right? But you have to help me out because you know what I'm going to say. But you will ask me some of the most fucking like Googleable questions all the time, baby. How do you do this? What's like this, that? You'll ask me these questions. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like what?
Like how to spell a word, and like I got to look it up for you. You know what I'm talking? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you're a smart one.
But baby, I'm not okay. You can't poke fun at me for the fucking chore board, and then when I not retaliate, but when I make my fun at you, you go, baby, you're the smart. I'm not the smart one. First of all, you are exponentially more intelligent than me. I can.
Yeah, but I don't know words.
You don't understand words. I can communicate to people. Like public speaking is better. I'm better at public speaking, I guess, right? But you're obviously more intelligent than I am. But you can't fucking shit on me. You can't respond like, baby. No, it's just we're silly in different ways, right?
Yeah.
See, look at her. She's fucking manipulating me right now. Oh my god, it's the worst.
But if you think of a real example.
I don't even fucking know. Because you'll ask me to add two things together. Well, that makes sense because I usually am decent at math.
Well, usually I'm doing things.
I don't even know how to I don't even know what I have to it's one of those things where I know the general, but I don't know a specific scenario because I'm not internalizing it. I'm not like so upset every time my wife asks me a question. I'm like, oh, do you remember last week when you fucking, it's just like a silly thing that you would do sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know
no, I got one. When you fucking need help with something, but you don't actually need help. This is the most common one. Baby, I lost my phone. I will get up. Baby, I found my phone.
Because I panic.
Yeah, you do that all the time. You panic.
I said before, I'm a lot of emotional maintenance.
Yeah, that's okay. It's
you
fine.
You do it so well, though. You're the first one that has.
Yeah, you're good. That's because that crazy pussy's good.
No, I do. I panic.
Yeah, you do panic. That's okay.
I panic all the time. You know what? I was panicking yesterday on the way to the airport. Do you know why? I couldn't find out how to fucking open the gas thing on the rental car.
Oh.
I was fucking sitting there Googling it. Me and Christopher were both walking around the car trying to fucking find out
how did you do it? There was a thing on the car?
You had to shut off the car, shut all the doors, and then go press the gas door.
That's dumb as shit.
And then it didn't have like a screwy cap. You had to like fuck the gas hole with the gas pump.
My mother's car does that. Yeah, that's somewhat new. That's not new. That's somewhat old.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a Chevy Malibu. I like the
car. Yeah, we have our car. Years are 2017 and 2008. So we're a little behind the curve.
That like a. I mean, I'm not.
No, it's not that new. No. It's pretty common now.
Oh.
My car's gonna be done. And next year I'll be done paying it off. Fucking well.
What does that mean?
That means I own the car and I don't have to pay monthly payments on it anymore.
So you don't technically own it now. They could repossess it.
I own it, but I have debt. They can repossess it if I stop paying, sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that was a pretty good topic, huh? We actually got a lot out of on that. We had like 20 minutes on that. 20 minutes on that video. On like a 30-second clip.
Dumb bitch. In a hat.
Why? Well, my thing is, it's like for real. Like it's so condescending. Like this to me, when you said like red pill before I talk about that, this is red pill to me because this is not, here's how you communicate effectively to your partner, which I think we did a pretty good job, because it's hard to tell people how to communicate with their partner without example, because it's so complicated, and different people have different boundaries, and different people get offended by different things. And this is a teacher scolding a student, you know? And it's like, if you engage like this, you know, either one, you're going to develop resentment, or two, you have such an imbalance in your relationship. It is not healthy.
Yeah.
If you're somebody's like fucking like actual dad or mom or something, that might be concerning. Although I do say wives are younger mommies. You don't like that one?
No.
Do you like that whole husbands are younger daddies?
No, that's weird.
That's gross, right?
Yeah.
Mama?
I'm gonna do that next time.
No. Bro, I just want to like ramble now. This motherfucker, I get scared sometimes. Right? She does too. Stop. Look at, she's fucking laughing.
I just don't know.
No, because it's just like a thought that I had, because I said mama and you were like, I'm gonna say that now, because I interpret you saying that like a scary fucking demon.
Mama?
Stop. Because I will get like a little bit scared. Do the face that you do to me. No.
I don't know. What is the face?
She looks down at me slightly and goes,
I can't even do it. Hold on. My hair's all.
but you have to understand, it's a perspective thing. It's not just the look. She opens her eyes and cock tilts her forehead at me. Like, I know the exact person I could show you guys. It's she does this face. Maybe you do this face because of this. She makes like this face. Like
oh my God.
You make this face. This is the face that you make. It scares the fuck out of me.
I also do it in the dark when you're checking the doors.
Yes.
And I'm shorter than you.
You do it on
I'm
purpose.
Chest level with you.
You do it on purpose to scare me, and then you walk at me. You walk at me silently. And I swear to God, I think I said one time, I said, if you don't stop, I'm gonna fucking hit you. Because I'm scared. And I don't know if you're real anymore. I don't know if you're real. I don't know if you've actually been possessed. So when she does that, I'm going to swing on you. You have to stop, because I'm getting scared. That's something that really happens sometimes. But she stops, of course, because
then I get scared.
Yeah.
I scare myself.
And then you get scared when I act like a zombie.
Well, yeah, because you're scary.
Like, I'll go, and like I'll just jump on top of her and like start to like fucking like and I'll like go to bite, and then I will actually bite her sometimes.
Because I imagine like what it would be like if he turned into the zombie
and I started eating her.
And like it would hurt so bad.
Yeah, I haven't bit you in a long time.
Well, I was gone for a week.
Yeah, that's how my love language is. I get on my wife and I bite my wife. What?
You said our love language.
It's our love language. I bite you.
That's yours.
I like biting, not hard. Well, sometimes a little hard on accident.
Yeah.
But I like to pin you down on your stomach and then just start biting all over you. And then you fucking laugh. It's like ticklish and it's fun. I love you.
I love you too.
I love you. We have fun together. We have a lot of fun. It was hot. It was miserable without my wife here when she was on vacation.
I wish you were in Florida with me.
Me too. You know, I needed to
we
work,
would have
but
had so much fun, especially because I think I told you, but anyways, me and my brother went out one night, and it's in like a city, and there was a bunch of bars and stuff, and you know, I was out with my brother. We had a good time. But like if I was out with my husband, it would have been different. And we went to this one area where it was
we would have got drunk and made out.
Exactly. But the area was like really cute. It was like a dirt ground, and it had picnic tables everywhere. And there was like a stage, and there was like 2 bars on either side of the stage.
Yeah, like a playground.
And it was like really
Monkey
pretty.
bars.
They had like string lights through the trees and stuff. And there was a cover band they were speaking Spanish, so I don't know what the fuck they were saying. But
maybe they were singing Un Poco Loco.
Well, there was a bunch of Hispanic people in the crowd too, and whenever they started playing a song, like everybody was like screaming and freaking out.
They must have loved the song.
So yeah, and so like my brother, like one of the songs they played was like Selena and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like they were having a good time, and it was like me and my brother were there. We were sipping on a drink, like we were having a good time, like kind of just dancing, watching everybody. But like I knew that if I was there with my husband, like we would have really been dancing.
We would have been
with each other,
dancing.
like,
We would have been a
all
little drunk.
romantically
We would have been
and
like
stuff.
fucking touching up on each other.
Yeah,
I would have been
like,
grabbing
that would
her,
have been so much
her
fun.
under part of her ass. I
Yeah.
love that. What do you don't? Yeah, like you're depressed. I'm grabbing.
No, I'm yang like you're oversharing.
Okay, but I love to grab your butt and just fucking boom, 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 play with it. Like I do that, boom, 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 you know.
Yeah.
I
And then-
love. Did I just tell you something though?
What?
I
I'm a little
listen. It's not
scared.
even that. I love your body. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. I love just fucking grabbing up on you and shit. You turn me on, baby.
I love you.
All right, I didn't say you make me horny. I was trying not to overshare. You make my dick hard.
I love you very much, husband.
But yeah, that would have
You're
been so
a very
much
hot
fun.
guy.
Thanks, baby.
Oh, that's what I want. I'm not going to tell it on stream, but that reminded me of a story I have to tell you later.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, yeah, and then we could have gone swimming in the inlet
No,
together.
I wouldn't have gone swimming in a fucking dirty pond.
You're gonna come to the inlet with me.
Oh, I'll come too there. I'll watch you. I'll have like the sunscreen on my nose, like one of those dads. You being safe in the water?
But yeah, I missed you very much.
I missed you too.
Oh my goodness.
What's that?
See, I feel like we keep on getting close to the end, but look at that most recent chat.
Shakira. All right, I need your favorite The Walking Dead characters. My boyfriend experiencing the show for the first time. Rick, 1000% best character of the show. Second best character of the show, Carl. Unironically, bad actor at first, puts a considerable amount of work into it as the show progresses. I'm not going to give away spoilers because you guys probably haven't watched it. But Rick's character, the best character. Well, the best actor-character combo. I think Carl's character is really good. He's a little bit of a weak actor, but he does a good job at trying his best, and I respect that.
I think Carl got so much hate that was undeserved.
Absolutely.
And the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, I hate Carl. But we actually recently, like, I think the end of last year or whatever, since we got married, we rewatched all of The Walking Dead, and a few months ago finally finished the last few seasons.
Yeah.
My favorite character is Daryl,
Nah,
but
too
I
easy.
think towards the end of the show, they did make him too much of a wussy.
They ruined everything in the show. Nothing made sense anymore. Every
Yeah.
character was dead. They ruined every character. They were all garbage and dog shit. The last season of The Walking Dead, where they found, what was it called, Paradise or whatever, was what bothers me more than something being bad is something that's really bad that could have been really good.
Yeah.
That bothers the shit out of me. The general idea where they found, like, what was it called? They found like that new town that was really well established with tens of thousands of people in it, with a robust military, was a phenomenal. It was really good. And you remember what I said? Like, they end up going in there and exposing the socioeconomic problems of the rich and the poor, despite the fact that the poor people there, to be honest with you, had decent amenities, not to be a dick, but whatever. And if they didn't, they did a really bad job at showing the actual poverty there. But they show this town, they go in there and they save the day and they overthrow the government and then they implement communism. I don't know. Excuse me. I burped up some food. What that show should have been, it would have been perfect if they had gone through and our main characters that we love and we support and we continue to support in that show became the bad guys of their story in a way that when you were finished watching, you were like, holy fuck. They are basically all Negans now. They should have went in like normally, however they got in, gone in there, got accustomed to the town, noticed some things that they had issues with, and then like toppled it because it wasn't perfect and because they couldn't run it and they think that they know better and destroyed that civilization. And it would have been such an amazing poetic ending to The Walking Dead. It would have been phenomenal to see how like the environment of being constantly destroyed over like however many seasons finally turned them into the bad guy. It would have been very poetic. It would have been like really impactful. It would have been an incredible thing. But instead it was this fucking boring show. It was just so fucking boring. And like, remember the point where Maggie let a guy die just because
Yeah.
she just let this guy die. He was like, he like
yeah,
ran
the
away.
train.
Yeah, he like ran away and then he came back and then she's like, we don't have enough time to open the door. And like for the next minute, he was like
You just literally watched him die slowly.
Yeah,
and that's what I was gonna say. I think that my least favorite character in the show is Maggie.
Yeah, they did her horribly.
I really think that Maggie's character is one of those characters that's supposed to be like a female champion.
Yeah, and
really, there to be a female.
She
champion.
was a really good character, and then they ruined her. Like, she was good. She was written really well. She was a good, strong character. Her husband was killed. Sorry for the spoilers. That was a great opportunity for her to become like a strong female boss leader, and she did. And then they completely ruined her lazily. Somebody said they did that with Alexandria. No, they didn't. Rick didn't just overthrow and kill everybody who stood against him. He did have like a point where he was too aggressive, but it wasn't to that degree. He got his shit together and worked well with them. It was stupid. And then the troopers handling the zombies. They would always like die. It was weird. The whole thing like was so lazy and it made no sense. It was stupid.
It's like funny because when you rewatch it, you don't realize how long some storylines are.
Yep.
Like in binging it, like Negan starts, I feel like immediately.
You think he starts quickly?
And lasts way
too
season 5.
fucking
long.
You think so?
And then there was just so many things that felt, or maybe is that just a trend with?
No, no. You know why it felt so long? Because two things. Okay. The reason is because they fucked up the way that they started to segment the show. They hit a point in the show, I forget what season, but it was like in the Negan era, where most shows tell stories like this. Hey, we have 3 storylines, and you're going to see a little bit of each of them in every episode, right? Yeah. They transitioned to, we're just going to do 1 episode per storyline. So I remember when we thought Glenn died on the dumpster scene. You remember that?
Yeah.
He didn't die. I think it was 3 episodes it took for them to address that. So people waited like almost a month just to see if he lived or died. That drags and it ruins things and it completely takes you out of like the feeling. The A, B, C tier plot lines are really good. Some are better than others, but it feels good to cut the tension of the A plot line, to go to the C plot line for a little bit, to dial back. It's like in a video game where there's intense action for like fucking 10 minutes, and then you calm down and you're in like a slow area because you need time to just breathe and pull you back down into the slow, right? So people do that all the time. Like when you start to pace yourself, and you see how like I slowed my voice, but it feels good. Because now you're relaxed, you're not putting too much energy into things. The pacing was really good. I think that's a huge part of it. But another thing, they killed Negan's story too, because Negan was a cuck.
So fucking much they could have done with Negan, and not for nothing. What a wonderful actor to have as Negan.
Oh, he's
because
great.
I love you. I want nothing else other than you. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a very like
all right,
nice man.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
so he was like, I think, the perfect guy to have in such like a piece of shit role. Because imagine if they had
he was really good.
The actor that plays Merle playing Negan.
Yeah, Merle was good.
Not going to have that same effect.
Merle was good though, but I know what you mean. Like
Merle was good because he was Merle, but like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, you know, he's handsome.
He's a sexy, charismatic piece of shit. He's really good. He conflicts you emotionally, and he's smooth. But speaking of Merle, really quick, that motherfucker dropped a hard N-bomb in the first season. That was wild. Go back and rewatch it. It's fucking crazy. Anyway. They ruined his character. The interesting thing about Negan is when he's against Rick, he's the worst person in the world. But as you pull out and retract, this is what happens. You see an asshole who was leading, and he was absolutely taking advantage of a lot of other communities, 100%. But he was trying to keep things in order. And the only reason he killed a couple of Rick's friends is because they killed like 20 fucking of their guys. And you look back and you're like, he was never perfect, and he was an asshole, and he deserves criticism, and he wasn't the good guy. But like, was he that much of the bad guy? And there was something to really consider when it came to that. The last season was just like, oh, you were the horrible person in the world. You killed my husband. You guys went in and killed like fucking 20 of their guys before they even knew who the fuck you were, right? So, yeah.
I want to say something about Negan and I lost it.
He's got a hog. He's got a nice hog.
Fuck, what was it? really don't.
While you're thinking, one thing that bothered me a lot is that the technique where they learn to wrangle the walkers was like it was used sometimes, but not all the time. It was so weird.
The thing that this isn't what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what else I was thinking of though, but I'll go back. So they introduced something in the last season that I don't want to.
And just say it. The people, if you're spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I don't remember what they called it, but like remember they thought that the walker was a whisperer because it was like a smart walker.
Yes, they introduced a smart walker. Yes.
And then they just ended the show. And it's annoying because as we were watching the show, like that's one of the things I talked about.
The walker climbed a ladder, right? And like used a rock or a knife.
Yeah, so like
and they thought it was a whisper.
I think it might be the first episode, or maybe it's the episode with the kid from Everybody Hates Chris. I don't remember. Anyways, at some point,
I like that character.
They are in a storefront and a walker picks up a rock and starts banging on the window.
In the first season, though. No, that's the first season.
Yes, and then Morgan, I think, was he the one that had the wife and the kid?
I don't know. Keep going though. I'll remember.
That's in the first season. The dad and son that Rick stays with. His
Okay.
wife is a walker.
Yeah.
She walks up to the house.
Yeah, Morgan.
And she jiggles the doorknob.
Yeah. Yep.
And so
yep.
I was saying how those are inconsistencies
with the rest of the show until the
rest
end.
Of the show that they show like some type of like problem solving, like picking up a rock and banging on a window is actually very complex.
By the way, somebody recommended we play the Telltale Walking Dead games together. That's really good stuff because it's more of a story narrative, which could be a lot of fun for us to play together as like a playthrough, like a let's play.
Okay.
But anyway,
they did expand on it in a spinoff. We haven't watched any of the spinoffs.
That's the problem, though, because what you're saying is this. In the first season, there were 2 instances of smart walkers who had some kind of muscle memory. A guy banging a rock into a door, like one of the first episodes. The girl jiggling the knob. They completely cut that out for the whole show, and then at the end, they reintroduced it. Why did they do that? It's not to be consistent with the first episode. In fact, I imagine the way that they reference it, I imagine that they don't even want to reference the first episode. They did it to plug the spinoff. They didn't do it to introduce us. They did it to plug a spinoff to say, you like smart walkers? Well, go watch the fucking Fear My Walking Anus, you fucking asshole. Oh, there's shit fucking coming out of my ass. Like, that's what you're meant to do. It's not honest storytelling. It's they did something in the first season and forgot about it, which is fine, right? Because the rest of the show is a good amount of the show is very good. They reintroduce it, not to reintroduce it, but to plug another Walking Dead. That's all they did it for. I think it's dishonest and it's shitty.
The other thing that I wanted to go back to is almost a commentary on what we were talking about.
You say
earlier.
commentary?
Yeah, commentary. So you brought up how in like the first season, Merle
says the N-word.
T-Dog, like the N-word with the hard R.
Yeah, that was wild.
And like earlier in a different segment we were talking about like the change of social narratives and how we interact with others and stuff like that. And like, you know, that the show originated however many years ago, and like maybe funny is not the right word, but like that scene was very obviously to show, like him using that word was
a bad guy.
To show that he is a bad guy. He's a bad person.
Absolutely.
That we don't like. And like now
I liked him. I'm just kidding.
Like now you would never hear that.
I know what you're saying.
TV show, you know?
It's interesting because I made a video. It was about, like, I'm not going to bore you with the specific drama, but, you know, the reference, iDubbbz used to defend the usage of slurs and whatever, he apologized for recently, and then, like, this guy Moist Critical kind of defended it. Not saying that it's okay now, but, like, it's just a little bit of silly edginess back then. And I made the point that, like, you cannot use a slur nowadays and it without being racist. It is racist, whether it's, like, actively you hate the group or it's that you, especially on online space or in public space, because you are, like, actively saying that you don't care about those individuals tuning into engaging with your content. You're not creating like a comfortable space. So if you still have the R slur or the N word or something, you're even if you have no hatred or you're not calling like a person that would be targeted with that word, you're still engaging in like a form, like a level of bigotry, even if it's not really hateful. And then somebody's like, that's a stupid point. What about movies? And it's like, okay, that's a good point, but it doesn't change anything I'm saying. Movies and shows are a form of art, right? Like that's different than like, hey guys, I'm going to defend using the N word because I think it's just a word. Is different from like, hey guys, let's, in a movie or a show, let's communicate through the usage of something like that. Like, yeah, have somebody, like, remember we watched, what was that movie with Down syndrome in it? With Woody Harrelson.
That was a good movie.
It was very good.
Called?
That was a really good, fun movie. Woody Harrelson movie, Champions.
Yeah.
I think that at one point they called the kids with Down syndrome the R slur. And I think that even Woody Harrelson said it.
He like almost did.
Yeah, and it was like
cut him off and used it as a psycho educational moment.
Yes, and it's like okay, like they did. It was a really bad word, but they engaged with it in the proper way to be like, hey, listen. It was part of like the art of the movie. People aren't using it for like the art of comedy. They're using it to be fucking pieces of shit. And like in a show like that instance of Walking Dead, that's an excellent example. Like use the word because he's a piece of shit racist. So don't just be like, oh, I don't like you silly Billy black guys. No, be a racist asshole and then let him get his just desserts. Then he got his hand cut off because he was a racist, a belligerent dick. They had to chain him to the top of a fucking thing and he had to cut his hand off and he had to like run around. And then they even did a level of reformation for his character where he became not a good guy, but like a gray character. Where like remember he worked for the governor, which was a very good enemy, and then like he had like his moment where he's like like you know, and like he wasn't a good guy, but then we started to be like, oh man, we could kind of vibe with this guy. It was an excellent re-education thing. So
related to I have two stories related to The Walking Dead.
Do it.
Oh,
I like these dogs you got here.
Stop! I didn't know they were on camera.
I know. I'm gonna put them in my mouth. You gotta pay for that, guys.
Some of my favorite YouTube videos are bad lip readings, and I feel like I've tried to show them to you, and like you just don't think it's funny. Like the fucking NFL bad lip readings,
what?
Like kill me. Like I'm always walking around and in my head, I was just saying it the other day, where he's like, "What are you doing with all these floor bags? You ain't living in Southeast Asia, like just stupid."
Why don't you
like
show me on stream so I could be like, "What are you doing?"
So there's a Walking Dead one, and I sing it all the time because they have the governor walking around the bar singing a song, and he goes "la bibba bibba dum," and then he ends the song with "Cluck went the chicken."
Why?
So that's whatever I think of when I see the governor. Oh my god, we have to watch the one. There's a bad lip reading of who is it? Someone singing the national anthem or something. You're gonna hate it. You're not gonna think it's funny, but it kills me.
It sounds like a silly goosery humor.
Yes. And then the other story I wanted to tell is about our first date.
Okay.
And how so me and him started talking a couple of days before. What are you saying?
What?
What are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
Tell me what he said.
I said I fingered you in the car.
Stop!
I'm sorry.
We started dating. I mean, we started talking a few days before Christmas, and then we went on our first date.
Let me see those dogs. Give me those things.
January 4th of 2019. Stop fucking touching me.
Let me lick them.
Leave me alone. Anyways, so like me dating him was fun because it was the first time I felt like an adult dating. So, like, one of the first things, like, I communicated clearly with him was that, like, this is going to be really awkward, but, like, we're just going to act like it's not. Like, when I walk into the restaurant, like, you could, like, come get me, and then we're just going to go sit down at the table and start talking like we've been talking on the phone.
Yes.
Like,
I think I said to you, I'm not going to really look at you. I'm just going to go right to the table. Because I was nervous.
Yeah.
And she looked really good in her pictures. First woman I've ever met that looks better in person. Yeah, nice tits.
So, like, I just had that, like, let's not, like, make it awkward. Like, it's going to be uncomfortable. Like, let's just keep our communication, like, our talking going the way it is. And we sat down at the table and immediately started talking about The Walking Dead.
Yep, The Walking Dead.
I also had communication like that with him for my first fart in front of him or near him. Because I remember we were in this room because this was my bedroom. My bed
I'm
was,
gonna
like,
get up and
over
go fart
here.
and come right back in.
Yeah, and I was like, listen, we're both adults, right? And you were like, yeah. I was like, okay, I have to fart right now, so I'm going to go to the living room and fart, and then I'm going to be back. And then I stood up, I went, and I farted, and I came back, and we continued our night.
There's such a funny joke I want to make, but you'll get so upset.
Don't.
I'm not gonna.
Dan, I almost said your full name.
It's funny.
No, please.
I'm not gonna say it, but it's
I keep
so
on almost
funny.
saying our last name, so
It's funny. You should say it. Say it.
I'm not saying anything. I swear to God, I keep on almost, baby. I will be so upset.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. It's so funny though. Yeah.
So, anyways, that's our opinions on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And how it started this beautiful relationship.
Yeah. Walking Dead is a very binding thing. And Californication was good, and Eastbound and Down, and The Good Place, because we just fucked through the whole thing. Okay, this one I could tell. You remember we were watching The Office the other day? You made a joke about this. And there was some scene with Meredith on, and we were like doing stuff together. And for some reason, it made one of us laugh so hard we had to like stop. And I just don't remember what Meredith was doing.
I think it was when they were having, what's it called? An intervention for her.
Okay.
And I don't want to tell the story. This is the one I'm talking about. Boundaries.
I know, but it's not as bad as the other story.
Adults here? Who is in our chat?
Everybody, if you're 18 or over, please leave the chat. No, thank you very much.
We were like doing whatever, and it's like one of those times where like you're just focused on what you're doing. You know, even though you have that show in the background, so nobody can hear what you're focused on doing. You know, you're just focused, and so we're doing whatever. And fucking, I think it was the Meredith intervention scene, and she started doing something where it was like one of us were like, huh. And then like we were just like we couldn't handle it. Oh my God, The Office is so funny.
Yeah. Oh, somebody mentioned in the chat about the show Afterlife. Do you remember that?
Oh,
You never watched it.
No, because he watched it while I was away in North Carolina for my uncle's funeral.
I was so fucking sad. I watched Afterlife. Afterlife is a show. It's only 3 seasons. It's a show of, I think it's 3, with Ricky Gervais, and it's about a guy who, it starts off with him losing, he had lost his wife to like cancer, the love of his literal life. And it's a show about how he like copes with it. And it starts off with him, like, I don't remember if they show it or not, but like he was about to kill himself because of like that. And he didn't. And he said, because the dog was hungry. That's the reason he didn't do it. Like, what a weird small thing. And he was talking to, I think it's her brother, right? And he's like, I was going to kill myself like today or whatever. And now I didn't because the dog was hungry. And basically everything right now and moving forward is just extra. Like, I don't care. I'm going to be an asshole to everybody. I'm going to be a real piece of shit. And that's what he does. And then he like slowly gets better. And there was so many sad scenes. It's so sad. It's so horrible. And he's not even a good, like, he's a good character, but he's so flawed. And you're still his, like, you still root for him, but he does like such bad things. Like I don't even want to give it away, but he like there's some really, and there's like really like moral questions that you have for the show because of the shit that he does wrong. I'm just gonna say one of them. Like there's one where like I think he became kind of friends with like a drug addict, and the guy asked for money for drugs, and he gave it to him, and the guy ended up overdosing and dying. And it's like this fucking crazy situation. He might have given him the money. The guy might have said, I want the money to overdose and kill myself because like my girlfriend died to an overdose and I just don't want to live anymore. And Ricky gave him the money for it, you know, and it's this really like interesting, thought-provoking situation. It's just so horrible. The whole show is so sad. And I was like crying because you weren't with me. I was so sad. That shit fucked me up. You probably would have been even worse.
Do you remember when we watched Mad Fat Diary and it sent me into
a suicidal fucking rampage? Yes, I do remember that. You could not watch that by yourself because you would have been so upset.
I don't know why, but that just fucking triggered the.
Because it was very accurate for you, I guess. It was like about a young fat girl and how like she struggled in life and shit, and it was fucking brutal.
That show was fucking rough for me, dude.
Yeah.
And I had been wanting to watch it for years because there was always like gifs of it on Tumblr.
It's a really good show, though. It was excellent. I would potentially rewatch it.
I don't think. Well, I am in a better place.
Yeah, you are. Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about the progesterone or no?
I like your whisper to the internet.
Yeah.
If you want to. That's
No,
fine.
we're trying to have we're getting ready to have babies, and we doing like some fertility stuff. And my wife she went on progesterone last time, and it made her like really, really, really messed up. Like it really like made her very emotional, which is fine. But then it made her have like thoughts that you don't want to act on. Fast forward like 6 months, a year maybe. You're on it now, and you're more emotional, which is fine. But you're not having those ideas, which I think is great. Like I think we've made a lot of progress. You've been like much happier lately. I think part of it's because of my content. I think me being so stressed out about my content before was like stressing you out because I would get upset and then like I would need you. And when one of us is having the higher meltdown, the other one has to suppress and take care of the other one. And I think that was taking away from your ability to express your issues in your life. And also like me being there for you, you know?
The last time I did the progesterone was in November. So I don't remember what was going on, but I do know that.
You think I'm sexy?
Since I do know that. Since the new year, I've really focused on like myself and being active and making like doing things to make sure
having a more positive perspective, you know.
Yeah, and like I feel like I've been more present in life, and I think I'm just overall like in a better place mentally. So like my lows aren't as low.
It's interesting because when we started the New Year's, when I started eating your booty. That's probably why you're happier now. That was a joke. I never didn't. I always did. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. But we did say it's oversharing.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing. That was a fake overshare. You know?
Yeah, but I do eat your butt.
Nice.
Well, you said it was fake. I just want people to know that I do that. It's
Everybody?
It's very important.
Like to make sure you know it is accurate. And he does. Look my butthole.
I've never been on. I've never been online.
See how uncomfortable I said that.
You did, but you like it.
Are you too into sad shows, or are those usually no go? Because I personally, if I don't cry, I don't want.
That sounds sadistic. Why would you?
I think I do like sad things.
Yeah, I like sad things. That's why I'm married to that. I'm sorry.
I think in general, the shows that I watch, I like romance. I don't like a romance like show.
Yeah.
But I definitely need some type of like dramatic, usually relationship.
Well, it's interesting. I know we've been streaming for 2.5 hours, but there is like.
Have we really?
Yeah, there's something to that point though. I asked you this question a while ago because you're like, I like more romantic-y kind of girl stuff that girls typically like. Because I guess we have like our brains are wired a bit differently. Apparently, I don't know when the garbage is full and don't take out the trash on time because I'm a stupid man. All jokes aside, I asked you a question a while ago, and I'll reintroduce it here about female characters, girl characters being in traditionally masculine roles. So, like how the male action superstar, totally badass motherfucker, that person is usually like written decently well. It's usually like this hero who goes on the hero's journey. They're incapable at first, but they're willing, and they go through perseverance, and they go through struggles, and then they overcome, and they become better. And that's the super, and they're also badass, and they're shooting guns, and they got fucking lightsabers and shit, and they're fucking shit up, and they're awesome, right? And then I asked you about the females in that traditionally masculine role, which I think is fine. I think like somebody like, I think was it Sigourney Weaver from Aliens did a great job at that. But like nowadays, there's characters like female characters written, and there's the common complaint is that they're Mary Sues. It's that they're people who are super overpowered, like Miss Marvel or whatever, super overpowered characters, women that don't seem to have a reason to just be great at everything. Like, people talk about Rey from Star Wars. That was the girl. And she, for some reason, grew up on a desert planet, but she's never flown a ship before. Perfect pilot. Knows how to swim. I know that sounds like a pedantic criticism. Beats Kylo Ren in the first fight they ever have, despite the fact that he's been training for like a decade. I understand he was injured, but still. And, like, she's just good at everything. And how that doesn't go through the traditional, like, hero's journey. And I had asked you, though, do you think that's because, like, a woman wrote it and that resonates with women more than the traditional male journey? Does that make sense? Not in, like, a bad way. Like, for men, it resonates really well with men of, like, being a flawed character who gets stronger, gets better, and then wins overall. But do women resonate more when it comes to that hero's journey with a girl who's just capable at everything? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm reflecting on it.
Maybe it's not Miss Marvel, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
Because I don't remember what my original answer was to you.
No, I don't remember either.
I feel like it was something along, like, my answer to
Oh, Captain
else.
Marvel. I'm talking about Captain Marvel. Sorry.
Like, my answer to everything else, I think it was something along the lines of, like, I don't care.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But in a way of, like, that's not something that I value.
Yeah, you're not invested in that.
So, like, I don't care. I mean, like, yeah, and I guess I feel like if I was put into a situation, I would kind of pick up things quickly. But, like, I would never be put in a situation where I need to fly a ship. You know, I can imagine me.
I guess.
I'm comparing myself to the Rey thing that you explained right now.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So, like, if I were to imagine myself, because I've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that plot line, it's like, okay, I'm, like, with my husband and he has to learn how to fly the ship and I'm going to help him read the book. You know?
Yeah, like, the way you insert yourself is the supportive character to the main character.
Yeah,
and I would be the main
not
character in that.
because,
In your
like,
mind.
I'm like a woman, and I'm like no, because, like, I just,
that's the role that resonates with you.
like, if they fucking wrote a Rocky,
but like a woman Rocky,
and woman, and the woman was like the same character, same development, like everything. I've never seen Rocky.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm just,
yeah.
like,
it was
you know,
good.
you'll pick up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
Like, if Rocky was a woman instead of a man, I still don't care about it. You know,
right.
I still don't resonate. Resonate?
Yeah, no, it doesn't resonate with
word?
you. Yeah, it's resonate. The show that
Like,
role
with that,
doesn't resonate
because that's not these, like, action-packed roles is not what I'm interested.
So I think that, like, this is the point. Yeah, I think that some women are, but it seems like most women don't necessarily care about the action hero, superstar, fantasy, whatever bullshit. But men do, and so I'm thinking, like, is that one of the reasons why maybe some strong female characters that maybe get written by women struggle to resonate with a male audience? Either one, because, like, maybe that's not like a female or a woman's power fantasy. Women, that's not like a general woman's fantasy, or maybe they're just trying to emulate what they think the fantasy is.
Well, I think another aspect of it may also be that I feel like this sounds like so dumb.
No, go ahead.
Like, if it is, I would imagine that a woman writing a female character in those roles would be someone interested in that type of movie and role and is used to looking at the male characters in it.
Yeah, but sometimes they miss the mark.
What
Yeah,
I'm
so you're saying that's not what I'm saying doesn't necessarily make sense, because they should understand the hero's journey if they're interested in that. But my thing is like, nowadays there's a lot of inclusivity, which I think is great as long as it's written well. And there seems to be instances where they try to, like, be inclusive and have, like, women write things, which I think women should, first of all, always ideally be part of writing a woman's character, right? Because there's some, like, nuances that I think that men obviously aren't going to be able to get to. But maybe they insert some women writers who aren't necessarily into, like, super action heroes in a way that, like, oh, you know, I grew up loving this. And so, like, maybe they write the woman and it becomes, like, lazy because it's not really their forte. It's like, if you're somebody who loves murder mysteries and then you try to write a fucking cartoon, you're probably not going to hit the mark. Because even I think, like, how do people make cartoons that resonate with children? I know that sounds so silly, but I'm a fucking grown man. I could never. Like that's what I'm saying. It's so bizarre to me, But anyway, you get my point.
Yes. And so for me, I think that like I just don't. That's not like my like fantasy.
Yeah. So you okay?
I think that I have the more like traditional fantasies where it's again like relationship driven or just like family oriented stuff like that, where I look like one of my favorite movies ever is called P.S. I Love You.
Yeah.
I wonder how, I haven't watched it in a while, and I wonder how it would be now that we're married. It would probably be sad. Better.
Yeah.
Because it's about like a wife whose husband.
That's horrible. Just like the Afterlife.
And like with her, and again, like I'm watching that as like a teenager, right?
Yeah.
I like look at Hilary Swank's character, and I look at her like losing the love of her life and like overcoming that. And that's something that I see as admirable.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like that's what I look at, and I'm like that's I don't. Do you know?
No. I understand. Like that's something. It's interesting because in your and the traditional male story, I'll say, it's a flawed guy growing up and becoming better and fighting, overcoming the odds and being the best. For you in this instance, it's a woman who has everything and then she loses it and she learns to cope with that loss.
That, or I guess that is a lot of the.
But that's
now I'm doing like some.
But
like,
that's my thing.
Myself.
Is like, so we proposed the one idea that like maybe some women, not all, may not necessarily be super in tune with like the traditional male power fantasy of going through whatever journey, the hero's journey, because like usually, and again, there are women who it resonates with. I'm not saying women can't write this, but because that's not something that necessarily resonates with them, and so they're more into a traditional woman's role. But like, here's the thing. Fuck, I'm trying to like communicate this. Here's the thing, right? When in the thing that you talked about, the woman had everything and then lost it, and so she doesn't have any growth to be made, and so like maybe that's a reason why, right? She had everything and then she lost it because she lost her husband. She was already basically to some extent perfect. She had the perfect life. She was perfect, and then she goes through a struggle and she loses it, and then she learns to overcome that. The Mary Sue character is somebody who has everything and they don't really struggle. Do you think that that's like maybe that's part of a woman's fantasy? She's like, hey, I am everything that's good enough, but the world doesn't understand that yet. Because you look at a lot of traditional female things and it's a lot of like, I'm a princess and I'm the best. I overcome a struggle, but I already have everything. I'm already perfectly capable and the world's kind of against me. I don't know if I'm correct, but do you understand what I'm saying?
I think I hear what you're saying. And I'm like processing this. It's something that I might want to come back on.
It's a lot, right?
Because I think that maybe the thing that I'm struggling with is like the realm we're talking about it in.
Yeah.
Because you're presenting it to me as like Rey from Star Wars.
Sure.
Which is something I just don't care about.
Yeah.
Listen.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm trying to see if they're... Oh, yours is a little lower. Yeah, good thing we did that for 3 hours. Talking to it now? No, they can't. Hello. Okay, now I think it's better now.
Am I talking?
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, so
it's not that bad, but
Star Wars, I don't care about.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I never would imagine myself in like a storyline like that, right? But think about Tangled. Yeah. Rapunzel is just trapped in a tower.
Is that show something that resonates with you a little bit?
No, but you presented the concept of like, oh, I have all of these abilities.
I have the abilities,
and now
but
I just need to like
be able
display
to show
them.
Yeah,
and like for Tangled, that bitch is in the tower her whole life.
Yeah,
and then she gets out and she knows how like to
Thank
interact.
you for the comment, by the way. I appreciate the volume check comment. It would actually help. I'm sorry.
Continue. She already knows how to interact with everyone. She's running all over the place, like. I think that that's actually, like you said, like she has all the abilities already and it's just waiting to show them. Like, I guess so. I don't know. I really want to sit on this.
I could be way off the mark, but as a man, I resonate with the hero's journey. And it came into my head. It was like, this true question is like, are these Mary Sue characters actually written poorly? Because like, here's the thing: the hero's journey for the man is a movie for men. It's like romantic comedies are a lot of times movies for women, and there's nothing wrong with that. And appeals to, I think, a men an innate desire to be like a better man and somebody who just gets better and they learn and they're the fucking best. But like traditional female roles, like it's the princess that needs there's no depth to most women characters. It's just the princess that needs saving. But she's not flawed. She's fucking perfect. And when from a self-esteem perspective, maybe that's something that resonates with a lot of younger girls too, because it's like, oh, like people, I wish I was more this or that, and like maybe they wish they just had everything, and then people would realize that the man would come and take him away. And so I'm like, okay, maybe it's just that like this resonates with women more. Maybe the interpretation of a female character, the hero's journey for women through a woman writer, it's like, no, I want to be perfect already, and I just want to show the world my perfection. And it doesn't resonate with men because like that's just not a journey that necessarily resonates with us. Does that make sense?
It does. Because like the way you just described some things, like I'm like, no.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm right.
I honestly, I'm really thinking about this, and like part of it is like, okay, like are we too lost in the sauce on this one?
Maybe.
But I do think it might be an interesting idea. I actually do have an example to talk about if you want to.
Let's do
but
it.
I do think that maybe something we could do in between now and whenever we want to talk about this again is maybe we watch a movie or something that has like a strong male lead and then something like with a strong female lead. Maybe one that either of us like, and then like we watch it and then discuss our interpretations of those characters.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
All right, but I have one to talk about in real life right now.
Really quick, yeah, so I want you to talk about that, but really quick. The point that I'm trying to make is this, okay? Because I just want to like reiterate. People like let's use Star Wars as an example that wrote Luke. Luke has a really good hero's journey written by a guy who clearly appreciates the hero's journey, and that resonates with a lot of men. What I'm saying is when they take a woman, because there are women that are written excellently, like the girl from Aliens. They'll sometimes take like Captain Marvel, I think is a good example of possibly, I don't know who wrote it. Maybe a guy wrote it, and I sound like an idiot. But some of these Mary Sue characters are maybe written by women where the hero's journey doesn't resonate with them, but like something else does. And so their interpretation of the hero's journey is something that maybe resonates with women more. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right, so I hear what you're saying. Do you think that I've been like off the mark in our discussion?
No, I just want to make sure I'm properly communicating, because I feel like maybe I think that maybe we are going deep, like you said. Maybe we're lost in the sauce. Maybe we are. So like I feel like this is my brain is so like, what, like where are we? I'm just trying to articulate exactly what I mean. I know it's so weird to say.
No, I hear you.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
No, finish. Are you done with your thought?
Yeah, go ahead.
So like there's one character who you and I disagree on completely, and maybe this is
Rick from Walking Dead.
What?
Rick from Walking Dead?
No.
Who's that?
Ned Stark. This has been a problem in our relationship for 4 years. But so what I want to say, does this hit the mark of what you're trying to express? I feel like this hits more the mark of just the difference between like what females and males, men and women,
it kind
look
of hits
at
least a part of the mark of like what resonate. Ned Stark is
all right.
Hold on.
Spoiler alert.
Hold on. Ned Stark is, I think, my favorite character in Game of Thrones, and like Robert Baratheon is like my second favorite. I also love the mentor role, more established individual characters. This is gonna fuck me up. Go ahead, just don't talk. Just go ahead. Go.
Okay, so I'll give a little background. So we've talked about it before, but when we started our relationship, we were like, I was a student with
Who's your favorite character though?
I honestly don't even remember. Okay. I really liked Arya, but I feel like they fucked up her story in the end, just like they did everyone else's. But I think Arya was my favorite. So in the beginning of our relationship, I was a full-time student. I was getting my master's. I had a 21-hour internship. Plus I worked on top of that, and he was working like 1:30s to 10s or whatever.
Yeah.
So for our dates, is a couple of nights out of the week, he would come over, and he chose that we were going to watch Game of Thrones.
And then when the show was over, I didn't know if we were going to be together anymore.
Yeah, he thought like when we finished the series, it was like, oh, like what are we? And so when we started dating, the like last season was live or whatever on HBO.
Yeah.
So like when it was over, it was like, oh, like what the fuck are we gonna do now?
Yep,
I can't believe we got married. It's still so crazy. But anyway,
I'm
so
happy.
he had already watched the show through, and I was watching it for the first time. And so we like were reacting to different things, like when, again, spoiler alert. So like when whatever was revealed about Jon Snow, I just remember being like,
Yes, whatever, spoiler alert. So basically, Ned Stark, all right, has a bastard son named Jon Snow, and his wife hates that he did that. He was a really devout, loyal man. And his wife loved him, and he loved his wife, and then he went away to war, and he fucked another girl and had a kid. Turns out, at like towards the end of the show, you find out he never did that. This was actually his sister's kid. And she made him promise that he wouldn't tell a single soul about it, so that he wouldn't get targeted for death, because I think he was like the rightful heir or something. It doesn't really matter. And my perspective is like what an incredible burden to bear in the defense of a promise and the defense of family. And your perspective, he was a fucking idiot for not telling her.
for not telling his fucking wife.
But like he was
You
an incredible
went through a
character.
whole fucking life of your fucking wife hating you and resenting you, and her hating and resenting this
he
kid.
did it to protect his dead sister's child.
And he still could have fucking did it if he told his fucking wife.
You're probably
Because
right.
your wife is your wife. She's supposed to be a down ass bitch.
That's true.
All right? So like fucking like it's just so fucking stupid. You're like, oh, I'm sorry, this is gonna sound condescending, but
Just
this is how I
go.
think of it. You're like, oh, like he's such a man. He did this
Yes.
thing, this honorable
It's not
thing.
just that,
He had his
but it's
wife hate
not
him for his whole
just
life.
that.
Tell your wife that it's your fucking sister's kid and you need to fucking protect him, and tell her that if she lets this out, you'll fucking end her. That's
Well,
fine.
you shouldn't do that.
But like
It's not just that it plays to the whole character, though. This is a person that says, like, if you're going to sentence someone to execution, you kill them yourself. You swing the sword if you're going to pass the judgment. This is a person.
I don't know what that means.
If you pass the judgment to kill somebody, to execute them for a crime, then you as the king should cut their head off. Like, there's something very powerful about if you're going to be you're going to swing your balls, you have to swing the sword as well. You can't just say, kill that guy, kill that guy, kill that guy. You're making a decision that is personal, intimate, to slice somebody's head off. You have to be the one to do it, because like that's a very powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very family oriented man. He was very devoted, very loyal. And he has such incredibly strong moral values. He didn't care about money. He just cared about like his friends and his family. And like I remember he like uncovered all the bastard children of Robert Baratheon to be like, hey, listen, like what's going on here, to the point where they were going to be like, we're going to kill you unless you admit you were wrong and you're a liar, and then we'll just banish you back to the north or whatever, and he would have gotten off free. And his moral values still would have said like, don't do that. But his family communicated with him, and he's like, I love my family so much. I'm going to go back on my word as a man, even though I don't want to, so I can be with my family. He's a powerful, incredible leader who makes hard decisions, and like he follows through with those decisions. And I think that was part of it, where it's like his fucking sister's dying, and he's got like this, he carries this burden his entire life, even though he knows his wife's going to hate him. And God bless the wife too, because she was a fucking strong character as well. But he's like, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? That's what resonates so much about him. He's a good fucking father. He's a good leader. He's kind and empathetic, but stern when he needs to. And
He
carries
is, and his one character flaw is something that he didn't fucking do.
Just tell his wife.
And so, it's something that he didn't fucking do. So it makes everything else like fucking stupid. Like you are stupid.
It's not stupid. He's a good character.
It made me so uninvested.
Okay, fair enough. Because you make a decent point. Because I think that you're coming from the point too, where it's like, why not trust this woman that is like devoted to you so endlessly? And his wife by that time proved that he was like, she loved him. Like she was a
That's
down
what
ass
I'm
bitch.
saying.
So at some point,
Yes.
be like, because originally maybe he didn't say it because it was an arranged marriage, and like she was actually supposed to marry.
Valid.
She was supposed to marry his brother. I think his brother died or something. So it was an arranged marriage. Maybe he couldn't trust her because maybe she wasn't a down ass bitch yet. And then like at some point she became one, but he's like, let's just like keep it on course. Because what happens? All of a sudden the mom starts not treating Jon Snow like a fucking bastard piece of shit. Somebody might get suspicious. So maybe that's why. You ever think about that? I never expressed that to you because I never thought about it just now. But listen, outside of that flaw, does that character resonate with you? Do you think he's a really good character?
To be completely
I want you to be
honest,
honest.
At this point, I don't even remember because learning that, I was just like, you stupid bitch.
Everything that I just explained about the character, does that resonate with you?
Resonate with
Resonate.
me?
Does that like really sit with you?
No.
Yeah, because I think that maybe that's like that's not a character that you thought was really good. But then like Arya did. What was it about Arya that resonated with you?
You know, that's actually fun. This is making me want to rewatch it.
I would watch it up to like season 7. I would rewatch it though. I would totally do it.
Because for her, you know what's funny is that I think that her age makes a difference because she is someone that like goes through a more
She goes
like
through a good
Star
hero's
Warsy
journey.
type of
Yeah.
like line. You know what I mean?
She goes through like the hero's journey. Yeah.
And I think, well, I don't, when I say it, I don't even mean like the hero's journey. I mean that like she learned to like basically fight or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's something like, I guess like seeing like her youth and making that like decision to be interested in that and go that way, like as a younger person,
Mm-hmm.
I like see that differently than like a fucking like a older teen or something deciding to do something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And I don't know the Twilight movies too well, but like Arya was a young girl who had to grow into her own character and had struggles and went through like a hero's journey. Whereas like, I don't know if does Twilight resonate with you?
I love Twilight.
It resonates with a lot of girls. And maybe I'm wrong about this, but the main character girl was somebody who she was basically perfect. She didn't really have like flaws that the movie felt she needed to change necessarily. And then she got what she wanted. Does that make sense?
I guess so.
Like she wants the guy. She wants the guy and she wants to be a vampire. But these aren't things that necessarily require her to change fundamentally. In fact, he's fucking obsessed with her regardless. So like she has struggles, but are those struggles character building or are those things that like she has to overcome with the tools that she had from the start of the show? Versus like Luke Skywalker was like a fucking pussy and then he became a fucking badass.
Well, I guess that's the thing though, right? Like what are you looking at in the plot line and valuing? Like the things you just mentioned about Twilight, I'm not thinking about. I'm thinking about how she has a crush on Edward and he's mysterious and eventually they fall in love and it works out.
But that's what I mean. And so like from the general woman's perspective, it's about being perfect and then getting what you want. Whereas the story that generally resonates for a guy is being flawed and becoming perfect. Or not even perfect, fucking badass. Like the male power fantasy that is appealed to in a lot of these heroes' journeys is a guy who's like an underdog, kind of like a pussy or whatever, and he literally becomes the fucking best. Whereas a lot of women, it's like, hey, I'm already good enough and I want that thing and I wish that thing would want me. And like maybe and maybe that's socialized, maybe that's biological. I have no fucking idea. But it's almost like Bella, what's that her name?
Bella.
She is the princess character as the main character, which is something that didn't used to be a thing necessarily. Even like Sleeping Beauty, she's like a fucking sleep the whole time, right? So,
no,
right?
You just sleep at the end.
Okay, shut up. You know what my point. My point is like it's written from this perspective of like. And so she's like the princess. Bella is a princess, right? And to become the queen, she just needs that husband. She just needs Edward. Luke is a prince, and to become the king, he needs to like fucking. He's not even a prince. He's a fucking. He's a little baby poop. But to become the king, he needs to fucking He needs to get his shit together and become something that's like worth something. Do you know what I mean? And then maybe it appeals to that like almost archaic idea that like men are born valueless but they obtain their value, but women are just born with value and they lose it over time. Which you know what I mean?
It's making me feel self-conscious.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so deep into the...
No, because like I'm thinking about what you're saying and it's like I would never interpret it that way.
Okay.
But I do think...
By the way, you're very valuable as you get older.
The way that you're... Baby, stop. The way that you're saying it is very harsh and I think making me feel like some type of way, but I'm like trying to take this in and hear you out. And I think... Again, I think we might be too lost in the sauce.
Maybe you might be right,
but
I like that I get to bounce this off of you because I can never have this conversation alone.
I do think that there is like a general conversation, always like starting in elementary school, of talking to young girls with the "you are enough" type of narrative.
Okay.
You know, like, if you have this, if you don't have this, if you look like that, or if you don't look like that, like, you are enough.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that maybe...
And you think we're a little harder on young boys, young men?
No, I'm not even thinking about young boys.
Okay,
I'm just thinking... I think maybe there is... Maybe there might be... I mean, look at the fucking fat acceptance movement. It's, you know, like, I'm okay.
But I will say, though, that fat acceptance movement does come from people bullying, especially women that are fat, more than men. Because, like, your value in society, historically, has just been because you look like this.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what the fat acceptance movement is saying when it's a healthy movement, not when it gets to, like, the fucking, like...
Okay, gotcha.
The craziness.
Psychotic,
but saying, like what I say, like, I understand I'm fat... Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm loved. I'm attractive to somebody.
Right with me.
I'm enough.
Yeah.
You know, when I think that, and like even in, yeah, like there is that sense of waiting for your person to like realize who you are.
Like me.
Damn, this is making me like think and reflect.
But don't beat yourself up over it. I'm sorry.
And like being like, damn, like I'm like, girls are fucking like dumb.
But is it that they're dumb, or is that how like you're kind of conditioned to be like, hey, you kind of exist and you wait for a guy to fucking whatever?
I think one of the things is that like, and I think that's where, like you were saying, like how your mom listened to women's empowerment music.
Yeah.
A lot of it is a lot of things that I guess are female focused are that like you are, and not to say.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying now. Like those songs are about how you're enough and that man was a piece of shit.
Like you're good. Like you're facing other things and you're okay. So now, we're going back because I didn't like really like agree with you.
It's too fucking mind boggling.
Because the way that you talked about it to me has a very negative tone. And
I'm just trying to talk about it.
No, I know. But
I wasn't trying to be
negative. You said how like women are like perfect and they don't have to like.
I wasn't saying that to be condescending.
Anything, but it kind of sounds like the way that women tackle thing is that like they're encountering different things and like dealing with those things and developing that way through like, I don't know how to explain this. Maybe you'll pick up what I'm putting down. Women are like, it's like they like have Jupiter. A base and they're developing through like different tasks that they're accomplishing where like it sounds like the way you're interpreting men's battles is like, I don't know how to fucking explain it.
It's like growth.
It's like it's like battling like an outside source, but like building your stuff.
Yeah, so like the traditional,
like men are building, women are transforming. Does that make?
What do you mean by transforming?
Sense?
It's like one of those things where like the stereotype, and I think a lot of this is socialized and not necessarily inherent, but like women are quote unquote born with their value, right? So like you have your value and it's about a guy realizing that and being into you, right? And as you get older, it goes away because, you know, we're fucking idiots. men are born valueless but attain value through the possession of things, skills, and like skills, status, money, you know, skills, you know, all that kind of stuff. And like the hero's journey speaks to that. Luke starts off as a little baby. He gets a lightsaber skills. He becomes a badass. He like helps overthrow like the worst guy in the world, whatever. Actually, he helps his father realize that. But anyway, but like Bella, Bella's a mid-looking girl, but Bella's like in the world is this perfect, beautiful girl, and that this fucking guy, the prince, the Edward, she just wants him, and then he wants her, and like that's it. You know, and maybe it speaks to like this kind of partially biological, but maybe partially socialized idea of like what do women want in a relationship? And it's like they want to be the princess that like the guy's like, I like that thing, I want that thing, that thing's awesome, I like it. By the way, how I feel about you.
I know, I'm being like, damn, like think about our relationship and our development of ourselves.
Yeah, but even before we were talking about how like if you imagine yourself in the hero's journey, you would want to be the co-star. You would want to be the guy that like we were talking about. I talked about Ray, and you're like, I wouldn't want to be Ray. You would want to be the person that like supported me, Ray, but like I was Ray. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to be the person helping translate the manual. You want to be the support staff. You want to be like the battery, which you very much are in the relationship. Like you make me a better person, like every single day, right? It's just so fucking interesting. It's like so much like, and so my point is that a person who writes from the traditional female perspective, like writing from the idea of like what is a princess, is now trying to write the hero's journey. So they take the characters already perfect and then they put them into the environment. So this perfect character that's a woman, instead of wanting a man, now just wants to save the day, and they save it because it is easily attainable to save. Because the guy was in love with her in Twilight, she's fucking badass and she's gonna fuck up all the bad guys. Boom. You're just taking the princess character, and you're just putting them right into the hero role. They don't need to go through character development because like she's already perfect, because that generally speaks to women and their like partially, I would say, sexist interpretation of what women want and what women want to be, which is just a princess that waits for somebody to take her. So you take the Bella, you give her fucking badass superpowers, and you put her into the same role. They're both already perfect. Instead of wanting a guy, she just wants to win, and she just fucking wins. Does that make sense? I don't know if what I'm saying is accurate.
Damn.
It's a theory, but you understand what I'm saying.
It took a long time to get here.
It's fucking, I'm sorry, I'm fucking
but
crazy.
We got there.
Yep.
I hear what you're saying.
I don't know if I'm right, but I think that like it's interesting, and that's what I was trying to express to you in the shower the other day.
Very interesting.
You like that one? That was a good one, right?
That took a while, but
I know it's so hard.
But we got there. That's the best part.
Isn't that fun?
We got there.
We got there on stream. It's one of those moments where it seems like I really fucked you up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
but
it.
I think it's so cool because last week you did the thing where you were talking about takedowns and behavioral specialists and interventions. And I got to a moment where you were like, what you need to do in some of these takedown methods is instead of grab their hand if they're flailing around, is that you want to touch their shoulder and roll your way down. And then like, you don't even like put a fist around their hand. Where am I? You want to like just kind of like try to restrain passively. And I was like, that's so interesting. And like, you blew my mind with that. I was so like, you do that a lot. And you're like, oh, it's nice that you listen to me and you take inspiration from me. I was like, yeah. And it's like, now it's one of those moments where like, maybe that was we got a little return on that.
Yeah. I'm really reflecting.
All right, that's cool. Maybe we have to come back to this topic and talk about it again.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of a lot of things. I'm trying to think of any. Yeah, like even like Raising Helen.
What is that?
I love that movie a lot. It's a movie about what?
Go ahead. I have another like potential comparison.
It's a movie about like there's 3 sisters in a family.
Yeah.
There's
Are they hot?
2 sisters. Well, one's Kate Hudson, so yes. And the other one is Joan Cusack, who I love. I forget who the third sister is, but basically there's a family with 3 sisters. two of the sisters like have like kids, and the youngest sister is like still out partying, living a lifestyle in the city, blah blah blah. Her mom's Goldie Hawn, who is also very hot.
Anyway, continue.
And I love Joan Cusack. She's a good time. Anyways, one of the sisters dies and leaves the custody of her children to Kate Hudson instead of Joan Cusack. And even in that movie, it starts out with like she's like the crazy like party girl in the city. Like, how is she supposed to take care of these kids? And like she just has to like, by the end of the movie, she's basically like a good mom to the kids.
Yeah.
You know, so that she has those skills. They just have to be like called out.
Can I
within her?
Give you another one? I think 50 First Dates. You have a woman that has like a memory problem, but she finds but she's perfect, and she finds a love, and she finds a guy that's willing to go that extra mile and record like a video and show everything. You understand? You've seen 50 First Dates?
Yeah, I just find it interesting that you.
It's like it's a romantic comedy. It's like a woman.
See, I always watch that movie from the perspective of
Adam Sandler, but it merges together. She's the princess and he's like the knight.
That's funny. Yeah.
He's
even
the knight
though
trying
it's
to become
looking
the
at
king.
the men's behavior, that's like what I would want to find.
The woman is flawed, but she's perfect to him, and then he does everything he can to accommodate her and goes that extra fucking 1,000 miles to be with this woman. Like that, you know, and that's like an interesting blending between both characters. But that's Adam Sandler is still good. He makes fucking bangers. Uncut Gems was right. That was incredible,
bro. That was a movie where we just sat there. That
it was good.
And A Marriage Story.
It was good. What was the Marriage Story?
Adam Driver. And...
No, well, somebody said Adam Sandler sucks, and I said Uncut Gems was good.
Yeah.
But Adam Driver, what does he have to do with?
I said at the end of Uncut Gems, we sat there like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And we also sat there like, what the fuck with A Marriage Story.
Oh, you transitioned pretty quickly there. Okay.
That's it.
Oh, I thought that we... Okay, cool. Sorry, I thought you threw me off with Adam Sandler. But yeah, so like, isn't it fucking cool? It's interesting. It's interesting the way that we've categorized men and women. But then like Arya is a female character who's in the male hero's journey, and she clearly resonates with women too because she resonated with you.
Mm-hmm. I'm not ignoring you. I'm like thinking.
Yeah. So,
I wonder if like again like how much her age plays into that.
Like, yeah, I understand what you mean, but then it gets into like what's the optimal age of development for a woman from a woman's perspective versus a man's perspective. So you're saying she was really young, and so like that's why she had to go through a journey. But like then we reference a character like Bella. How old was she? 14, 15, 16?
I think she was 16.
So 16. And so like I think that's the age that gross men say women are perfect. Right? That's when you become an adult for like a woman. And so it's like you feel grown at 16. It's like, oh, I'm perfect. Where's the guy that's ready to pick me up? And then the older guy, vampire fucking dude that's like 2,000 years old. I'm fucking shine in the sun. Right? Or whatever. So it's like for men, I don't know, it's like so much because like it's that traditional idea that like young women are perfect and attractive right when they're young, and as they get older they lose that value. But for men, it's like when you're a woman's age where she's perfect, you're just like starting. Woman's 16, you're ready to have babies. You're not, but that's what society will, or traditional ideas will speak to. But the guy, that's when you start going through like your journey. You're 16. You're a man now. It's time for you to fucking learn to fight and be a badass knight and swing a sword, you know? And then like that older guy that once he gets more established, when he gets into his 20s, he marries that 16-year-old girl. Right? That's why fucking 16-year-old girls show their tits off on Omega like a bunch of weirdos. And you got to stop doing that because it's dangerous because men are disgusting.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Well, they used to.
But that's interesting now, just reflecting the idea of like, what does the concept of you're a man now versus
you're a woman now.
Like you're a woman now. Like what does that life change?
Yeah. You're a woman now is like now we gotta wait for a guy to want to fuck you forever and you raise their babies. Or you're a man now, it's time for you to go out.
Get your shit together.
Generate as much value as you can, and then find a woman who already has their inherent value. That's the way that we historically incorrectly look at women. Isn't that fucking crazy though?
Yeah, I'm really.
You're really sitting on that one.
Yeah, it's made
You're my
me.
princess.
Honestly, it's made me think very negatively
Why?
of things.
Why very negatively? Are you feeling self-conscious about like what you are attracted to as far as like movie roles wise now? That wasn't my intention.
I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with your perspective. It's just so deeply rooted in systemic misogyny and the patriarchy.
I hate the way that like if you were a person who talked like that, like it could be real. You know?
Yeah, because I could say that like a real piece of shit. I just think it's interesting because like who cares if that's what you're into because you really resonates with you.
I guess that's my internalized misogyny that makes me
or
feel
maybe
like
or maybe there's a level of that women just like to gravitate towards a princess role, and feminism is about women being
I
able
guess
to
so,
do
but
whatever
that's
they
what
want,
I
not that they
find
can't do that.
insulting.
What?
Because I'm a badass bitch. You can't kill me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You are a badass bitch.
Like,
But no, but that's the thing. You're already capable, and you know that you're already capable.
yeah, I know, but stop pointing it out.
And so, like, you are Captain Marvel right now.
Like, I'm a princess, but I'm only a princess if I call myself a princess.
You're a princess because you found like a guy that wants to treat you like a princess. But you're a badass bitch outside of that. You're independent, but you don't want to be independent. But then the truth is, I am also independent, but I don't want to be independent. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't so? It's so fucking weird.
For me, what's happening to me, and I don't know if you understand this.
Yeah.
I feel like we've dumbed down like behavior so much that it's like feeling like so generic and like I feel like nothing.
Well, we're looking at it. No, but we're looking at it in such a generalized moment. So like, I don't think it's like that
no,
dumbed
but
down.
like we really have like broken down like a behavior to be like so clear and not me like nothing, no meat around it.
Yeah, I get
that
what
I'm
you're
just
saying.
feeling like fuck.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But don't feel self-conscious about it. We're gonna talk about this for a week alone because you're gonna feel self-conscious now. But isn't it interesting? We're gonna end this segment off and also get off because we're doing.
It's bedtime.
We've been going
work.
for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Did you like that last segment though?
This one was good.
Was
Good job,
crazy.
baby.
Oh, wow, I did it. Boom. All right. Well, guys, we were expecting to be here for about 2 hours. I think that we came on thinking that it would only last like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting much.
Because we had 2 big topics that we just didn't talk about today because we're just not in the mood because they're too heavy. And then we ended up doing like this fucking super woke one. So we're going to bang out, guys. We appreciate everybody who stopped by. Not bad today. Considering how late it is and how random this was, we had a good viewership. I'm pretty happy with it. So anyway, guys, take care. Have a good one. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.